hung out with Marion, Liza, and Cynthia Crow for a little bit, which was just as which went better than expected, because Liza Crow was terrified the whole time. First, that her tea was going to splash her or freeze again. Then, somehow, that the white raven, who is Mercy currently, was going to, I don't know, steal her soul or something. And then, terrified that the little cannibal monk was going to eat her. And nobody would ever believe her if she told anybody, because Talia is bastard, which was great.
It's what Liza deserves.
Liza was suffering, and you're right, it is what Liza deserves. And so she was actually pretty chill through that whole process. Marion was annoying, and Cynthia talked about her children the whole time, but it was a pretty good evening all told, and you guys managed to shunt them all out before dinner time, which was great. Because meanwhile, Lena had discovered some information. And Lena told Vera this information. And Vera told Talia and Diona this information. And eventually, everybody found out the information, which was that shit in Corwick is somehow even more fucked up than previously anticipated, because you all read the account of the last time a resurrection was attempted in the town, in which at least one, possibly more, malicious forces actively tried to sabotage the resurrection and try to do bad things. So, and Marcus ate 43 playing cards, which is actually the most important part of this, because Marcus ate 43 playing cards, Vias has the remaining 11, and Marcus is sworn to get them back.
He is a vendetta.
They were not tasty at all. There was no nutritional value and no flavor to them. They were cardboard, and Marcus ate them.
It is more about the statement than the actual nutritional value. You think Marcus needs nutrition? No. You know when you're like sitting in a movie theater and you're like, I'm gonna get some popcorn. Not for, any desire to actually eat popcorn, but because you just you're gonna eat something while you're enjoying your movie. Marcus was watching Dylan play Go Fish with himself, and the playing cards were his popcorn.
No, I think the better explanation for this is the fact that Marcus has pica. That's it.
Marcus is bastard. Marcus has bastard syndrome.
Both of
everyone in this party has bastard syndrome.
Hey. I'm just so delighted to hear your voice. Okay.
Amy pop.
Damn.
Amy pops in, talks truth, pops out again.
Also, hi,
I can't actually talk with both headphones, and I sound weird.
Oh.
I don't like to listen to myself.
Take weird though.
Okay, where was I? Okay, so you all discovered information. Lena went back to the temple to discover more information, and a rescue party of Vera, Talia, and Diona went to rescue her from the temple, so she didn't have to talk to them for 6 hours. Rescued Lena, but while they were on the way there, they noticed like 24 crows, all super juicy and necrotic, just camping out on Susanna's roof. Marcus decided to kill one for, the principle of it. And then Vias decided to massacre all of them as a cat and bury them in Susanna's backyard.
Yep.
So that was swell. You all retrieved Lena, got back to Susanna's house. Lena has information that she can share with you at some point if she would like. Found Vias burying the rest of the crows. Decided to power wash the front of Susanna's house so it wasn't covered in blood. Yes, Dylan was incredibly soft and good content. And everybody chatted for a little bit. And Susanna decided...
Susanna in?
Yeah,
on
Susanna...
what the fuck we had found, because she deserved to be able to make an informed decision.
Susanna got the information that if we try to reattach her soul, bad things may very well happen. And she decided pretty much, fuck it, let's do it anyway. And that and then y'all went to bed, pretty much. Unless there's anything specific that Lena would like to share with the party that evening.
Shit, I'm supposed to have read this. Again. I read it, I mean, I read it, but that was like last...
That was like on Saturday, so...
I've been PMSy as fuck since then, so...
You're valid. You
I
can
think
wait until the morning.
Lena is probably going to wait till the morning.
All right.
I think with everything that's going on, she kind of figures there's nothing that she can add to the panic, other than more panic.
All right. So,
Panic on panic.
you all enjoy whatever is left of the evening. Talia is on a mission, perhaps to design some playing cards. Other people can do what they would like. And I assume that you all go to bed.
Yeah.
This being the case, hey Josh, come to Whispers with me.
Oh, shit.
Huh?
Sad because I don't get to go into Whispers and record what they're saying. Oh, goodness.
Jess, are you still here? Yes. Okay. I'm just vibing. Fair enough.
Oh, man.
Lena does at some point need to talk to Dylan and Bias.
Ooh.
Emphasis on Bias because Lena adores Dylan, but she thinks she's probably going to get more sense out of Bias.
Serious matters call for the more sort of serious.
I mean, this is why Lena was very specific over who she asked Feyre to talk to last week. Which was pretty much the people who won't go charging off to kill things without waiting to see what's going on first.
I mean, Bias just wanted to kill some
I'm honored that you think so highly of Diona.
Diona
When she's not in battle, she's pretty good about, like...
Yeah, Diona alone maybe not, but Diona, when Diona's aware that there's people relying on her, no, Diona would pause and think.
Yeah.
I know, but it's so far out from my original concept of her that I am just always delighted by it.
These things happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel
To be
you.
fair, my original concept of her would not have made it this far.
Yeah, my original concept
Well, she would
for
have, but
Bias
y'all
was...
wouldn't have bonded as much with her.
I feel like my original concept for Bias would have been a bad fit for this group, because originally I was like, yeah, he's just such a... Yep. Ugh.
It's actually pretty close to my original version, Lena.
That's good.
Not completely the same, but reasonably close.
I feel like there's
I
some
know
things between characters where they need to evolve to fit a party rather than who they were
Yeah.
when you first
Yeah.
made them.
That don't involve the boring.
I know
Mhm.
Talia has changed a bit from concept because of the fact that we got them straight out of the fucking Feywild.
Yeah.
Instead of like the 3 months out that I originally planned.
That
That's fine.
cannonball reveal is still the best thing in D&D that I've ever played in a game. It was hilarious.
I'm so mad I missed it because I asked Becky when I first joined what the time zone was and everything, and I told her what mine was and what time I get off work and everything, and I was still a fucking hour late. I'm so mad.
Hello, lads.
Oh, welcome back.
Fuck.
Good morning. You all wake up bright and early or late, depending. Whenever you want to wake up, you're up and you do what you do. What do you do?
Well, since we have celebration today at about noon,
Yes, the celebration you are given to understand is noon-ish.
so I think Diona might try and recruit Susanna into getting everyone as... I'd probably recruit Susanna and Vias to getting everyone as is comfortable, but is also kind of fancy, because honestly, this is the first chance we're going to get to.
Oh, dressing up here. It's going to be a dress-up game this morning.
Excellent.
I mean, if anyone else is willing.
Susanna is so down with this.
Bias will
Lena is wearing full paladin gear.
Yes.
That makes an impression.
I love
Dylan.
Lena.
I don't have any nice clothes. I didn't think I would need any. Why did you all bring nice clothes?
Wait, hold on. Maybe I have something that will fit you. Let's see. I got tunics.
Vias, how tall?
I mean, you're like 2 inches taller than me, man. You can kind of fit in this shit.
How tall is Vias? Because I'm pretty sure Dylan is more than 2 inches taller than him.
I think Vias was 5'4" and Dylan was
Dylan is
4'6".
5'10".
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Dylan
thought
is
it was
5'10",
5'6".
so Dylan is
Okay.
taller.
Never mind.
I think
A
I
little
said
bit
Dylan
taller.
was 5'10".
I
Let me
thought he
double
was
check.
5'6" or 5'8" or something.
I think he's 5'8", actually, because I think he's the same height as Susanna, but
Oh
her with
yeah,
heels.
he's 5'8". I got it
5'8".
wrong.
Okay, so 4 inches taller. So, worse
I mean,
things
you
have
can't
happened.
borrow my pants. But you
Can
know,
Dylan
tunic
try
might
and borrow
work.
the pants?
No.
If you want to try to borrow the pants,
You can make a stylish looking, yeah.
Flood pants.
Sure. You know, I don't think that works for you.
Hey Susanna,
Yeah.
do you have anything that would look good with me?
We can try to find something in the closet, yes.
And if you
As
need
long
any
as you're not-
adjustments, Vias
As
pulls
long
out
as
his
you're
needle
not
and thread.
opposed to wearing my dead husband's clothes.
I don't want to wear your dead husband's clothes.
Okay, then I don't probably have anything that's not a dress, and I think it's not your style.
No.
Yeah.
What if I just looked like a person?
You can just look like I didn't tell anybody to dress up. It's just if you want to dress up, today is the day to do it.
You know what? Maybe I just shouldn't go. Because if I'm like with the whole party and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm making a good impression," and then they see me and they're like, "What's
They're
wrong
not
with you?"
gonna think anything different of you.
Are you
Everybody-
sure? Because everyone looks at my bird and is like, "What the hell?"
That is exactly why I know that they're not going to think anything different of you. Your bird is so distracting, nobody's going to notice what you're wearing.
I mean, I think
That
all
is
of us
not
are distracting,
reassuring.
and you being different than us is going to be fine. I think they would just be interested in you as a person first, so...
People are going to pay attention to all of you today, no matter what, because look at you. You're the new people. You're the reason the celebration is happening. So it doesn't matter what you're wearing.
And we've been stonewalling the crows.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen necessarily on that front, but
Listen, my bird like totally just tore apart. I don't know how well I'm going to look with the bird that totally like killed a crow on my shoulder.
I mean, nobody's going to know that he killed a crow.
That lady who knew things don't
If
like
you
that.
Stand next to me,
Christabel
Dylan.
Tucker won't have a
Um,
single idea what you did.
You stand next to me, they're going to be looking at me rather than looking at you. It's fine.
This is true. Lena, you look lovely, by the way, but
You
very
do.
intimidating.
I think that is the point, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love it.
You look great.
Thank you. I'm just kind of... Well, I mean, if we make it through today without starting to fight, I'm counting that as a win.
Oh, don't start a fight. Please
I
don't
wasn't
start a
necessarily planning to start one, but, you know, if one happens and I'm there, well, I'm just going to partake.
Finish
fight.
it?
Okay. Good to know. If you all start a fight, just let me know, I guess.
I
don't
We'll
know.
make sure you're completely uninvolved, don't worry.
mean,
Well-
Vera does still have calm emotions, right? Maybe.
I always do. Always.
You are a blessed presence.
She's just smarter than the rest of us.
What's the point? Lena smells. What have I got? Spells today?
I
Okay.
should use today's spells.
Susanna, I meant to ask. I think we might have the same shoe size. Can I borrow a pair? Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Are you gonna wear that skirt?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's still
That's
sort
okay.
of chilly outside, but I really don't care. I want to
Oh,
wear
it'll
it.
be worth it. It'll be worth it. And frankly, no cold is worse than looking bad at a celebration. So,
Do I normally look bad?
no,
He just grins
I
at
would-
you.
I would never say that about a friend of mine.
Uh-huh. Alright.
You look lovely always, but you'll look better when you're dressed up.
Thank you.
Everybody looks a little better when they're a little dressed up. Isn't that just the way of it?
Hmm.
Dylan ends up dressed
Yeah.
normal, except instead of the yellow gloves that hook over his thumb, it is a yellow shirt with the same holes. So it's essentially
I love it.
What the heck?
Gremlin core Dylan.
his favorite color is yellow. He also is wearing eyeliner.
Yes.
Good for him.
Hell yeah.
Dylan. Yes. Okay.
Dylan's-
Susanna's very impressed.
Dylan's face makeup is like the most basic goth you can get, and the rest of him kind of looks like yellow threw up on him.
That's so good.
Bias tries not to cringe.
That is so. Susanna loves it.
Listen, if this is how Dylan dressed when he was early 20s, all right, like late teens, early 20s, you're getting
Love him.
you're getting pre-scar Dylan here.
I love
Yeah.
him.
Wait, no, you're getting pre-marriage Dylan.
This is some blessed content.
Oh, I love him. Yeah, Vias
I really-
also done his eyeliner in like the winged eyeliner sort of situation.
I really like to picture and imagine that Vera and Lena are sort of sitting in a corner together, like both having their own spiritual moment, and both like occasionally, are you asking for Zone of Truth? No, you take Zone of Truth, and like,
Yeah, I'll just put this up here. Vera's not gonna dress up. She's just gonna like polish her armor a bit.
Oh,
and she will be wearing armor.
Yes.
That's a statement for sure.
I'd like to think she's always been wearing her armor around town.
That's good.
As a
That's
note,
smart.
Vias does hide a couple knives in his skirt.
All right, that's good.
Just straps them in.
Excellent.
Diana
Susanna,
does not bother because, as far as she's concerned, she can punch harder than she can stab with a knife. So,
Vias
This is
cannot. That is
also
why he
true.
has knives.
nice.
bias is valid.
So, yeah, Susanna does not get dressed any different from the way she's been dressing previously. She's just vibing.
Oh, hey, I had the
Yes,
weird
she doesn't
dream
have to
last
make a
night.
public appearance.
Dream.
What's that?
Hey, Susanna, I had the weird dream last night. Did you have any dreams?
I never have.
Or did anybody?
I never have any dreams.
That
I don't
sounds
dream.
fake, but okay.
No, I'm pretty sure it's. I don't dream. I'm pretty sure we worked this out. I'm pretty sure I don't dream because I don't have a soul.
Oh, so
Wait,
when you
does that
get your
mean that
soul back, you
time
will
that-
remember all your dreams. Got it.
I don't think that's how
Wait,
it works.
does
either.
that mean that time that we saw, and that's kind of a look at Dylan,
Listen,
Susanna, and
That I don't.
never
think-
mind.
We're still
I
not
don't
talking
think
about
that's
that.
technically a dream.
That's not a
I don't
dream.
know what that is. I'm
Vias
too dumb
was
to
very
understand.
confused because he was one of the people that wasn't in the stream.
It's just awkward, like the three of them making shifty eye contact and then stopping. Yeah. Okay.
I had a
So
really weird dream about birds,
I
and Susanna was there,
have a
I was
and
question
there was fire.
about birds.
You know,
So if there was a grove full of ravens, would you kind of maybe say that was maybe possibly something connected to the Raven Queen, or would just that be coincidence?
I mean, she likes her birds, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking, and also if said ravens were maybe murdered and massacred by people, and then said Grove also maybe happened to be a zone of desecration. I'm just wondering if those might be linked.
Are you talking about Raven's Grave?
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah,
been uncomfortable with anybody calling it Raven's Grave until I talked to you guys, and now I feel like I should not call it Raven's Grave.
Raven's murder site. Got it.
No, stop
That is
it.
not better.
Only
No.
that place is really very creepy and gross and slightly uncomfortable making. And well, the
It was
crows did kind of
creepy without an awareness of what was going on.
Yeah, well,
So-
the crows, the people did kind of murder the ravens and bring in the crows.
Well, we were up by Raven's grave up there. I did a small, I guess you would say, an experiment with Druidcraft. It didn't look like there was any corruption necessarily to growing life.
Oh, that whole area reeks of desecration to me. It kind of stinks and gets in the back of your throat, and
I don't know what that word
you know when a
means.
potato rolls off the side and kind of disappears on the edge of the cupboard, and you think you've got them all, but you miss one, and then like 4 days later, the whole kitchen smells of rotting potato. It's kind of like that.
Hey, really sorry. I don't know what the word you're using means, and the relation to potatoes just kind of made it more confusing for
Okay,
me.
sorry.
I mean, everyone else is smarter than me, so everyone else probably gets it. But I don't even know what desecration means, and I've never had that happen with a potato.
Oh, well, I'm kind of clumsy in kitchens, and I figured the potato thing was a universal experience, but apparently not.
I'm not allowed in kitchens.
Yeah,
Dylan
me either.
kind of
We'll
gives
just
Dylan a bit of a. It kind of gives Dylan and Lena a bit of a contemplative look.
Have you ever
Diana, you will have to tie me down in order to teach me how to cook.
Have you ever left a glass of milk out by your bedside and you keep on meaning to throw it out, but you don't, and then it just starts going sour and the whole room smells unpleasant?
Yes, absolutely.
it's that kind of smell. Desecration is when somebody kind of deliberately goes to a holy place and tries to make it not holy anymore.
Oh, yeah, no,
Well,
Raven Queen would not like that.
Sometimes it's deliberate to make it not holy. Sometimes they just don't want it to be what it is, and the making it not holy is a side effect.
Just like the milk.
Just like the milk.
Just like the milk. Sometimes they're trying to make cheese, sometimes... This metaphor's
So
getting away
that's
from me.
where cheese comes from.
Oh my god.
Maybe forget about the cheese.
Yeah.
You know what? I
Says
think we're
something
getting off
Marquisian.
topic.
I would just like to point out, and I know this is not the time, but I would like to point out that grass grows greener on top of graves, so it doesn't really
That's
matter
because-
whether or not the flowers can grow super well, you know?
That's because dead bodies are just fertilizer.
That is
Yes.
true.
Oh, I guess my backyard will be nice and luscious now, won't it, Vice?
The talk of the town.
I don't see you having much pride in your backyard necessarily.
Well,
I think it's the front yard that counts. Except I'm from a city, so I've only ever read stories about people. It's like, my lawn looks better than yours. Oh, it's like, what is the point?
Oh,
have to
HOA
cut it.
suck.
back when I could garden, my garden looked lovely.
See, gardens make sense because, you know, you've got actual, not the grass in there, but if it is like just the grass and you're like, it looks great, that's called grass. And it doesn't look like anything, it's just there.
It's green.
And that's all it's got going for it.
Green is my favorite color.
It's a lovely favorite color.
Thank you. What time is it, Susanna?
Well, you could look at any one of the 4 clocks you can see from right here, but Susanna reaches into her pocket and she pulls out the little silver
It's more
watch.
interesting to ask.
The little silver watch. We will say it is about 10 a.m.
Alright, we got a couple hours.
You guys have plenty of time to vibe.
God knows we need it.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all do. Because what the fuck?
Vice tries on your heels a little bit, does a little test walk to make sure he can
Mhm.
walk in them.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pleased.
Lena's kind of,
Excellent.
as she's speaking, just kind of watching Vias kind of in the heels with kind of this expression that's kind of half amused, half envious. That anyone can walk in heels quite that comfortably. Well, I mean,
I think Diana kind of has a similar kind
I
of.
would like to point out that Susanna has been going this entire time in heels, but as soon as Vias puts some on, it's suddenly
you can't see
impressive.
them under Susanna's
Elias
6
is
million
more
layers of
obvious
skirt.
about them. Yeah, and I was about to say, they're also normally hidden by Susanna's skirts because
The fact
there's no
that
way
she can
Susanna's
walk in the
skirts
damn
aren't
skirts
basically
is
full-
impressive
flowing.
enough.
Yes, it was.
It totally is.
Yep.
Anyway,
However,
so
Vice...
Susanna cheers Vias on because he looks very elegant.
Yes.
I mean,
Alright.
what are we going to do about this whole? I mean, there's 2 problems. There's the whole kind of, not to be offensive to Susanna, but there's the whole Susanna situation, and then there's the whole, rest of the situation, and the 2 could be linked. They might not be, but they probably are.
We can probably deal with the Mockingbird. We can probably. I don't think we can deal with the 10.
Maybe some other time, or we can stumble across something. Maybe.
I feel bad leaving. I mean, the people at the temple were very much, the crows have always been here and they've never caused trouble. And I'm like, well, they've never caused trouble that they're aware of, but there's trouble being caused. And I feel
don't
bad
know if they're
leaving
as
these people
unaware
like
as
this.
the temple think they are.
Well, there's obviously some sort of shit going on here. Pardon my language.
But I don't know if it's shit we can deal with. Like, where...
I mean, it's literally as long as the town has been around, which is hundreds of years.
And I feel bad kind of leaving these people to kind of have this hanging over them.
Well,
It
you
has
know
a-
what we can do. We can take care of the Mockingbird problem first, and then we can seek guidance from people who possibly are stronger than us.
And
suppose.
we can recuperate out from under the shadow and possibly figure out if there's a way we want to approach it.
Hmm.
But...
Because maybe if we're able to successfully revive somebody from that state, maybe it will at least undo it a little bit, maybe?
Or it'll give us an idea of what we're dealing with if we do decide to try and fix this.
Hmm.
I know, it feels wrong to
I know
Not at
I
least
am really
try.
not the person to say this, but there's not that much wrong. Because day-to-day life is completely unaffected.
It's unaffected from your point of view because everyone here's in the middle. From
Right.
the outside looking in, everyday life's pretty affected already, Susanna.
But everyday life is, like, the only thing that everyday life needs to be is good for the people who are living it, right? Like, if I went to where Bias is from, it would probably suck. I would
That's-
probably hate it.
Not very nice.
I don't know.
I mean, in my case, sorry, the echo is distracting me. Darn it. Sorry, Joe.
Could you mute while you're not on?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Thank you, sorry.
But Vias continues. From where I am, there's wards that we place on basically the entirety of heaven that prevents necrotic raising.
Well, okay, so maybe that was a bad example because, in fact, that town probably is great. But every town's got something wrong with it, right? But if it's not a problem to the people there, I mean, okay, I'm just arguing myself into a corner because clearly there is a problem because I don't have a soul. But
I mean, the issue is that from the way that journal sounded, it sounded like these souls couldn't leave. Like there was multiple souls, right?
I didn't really understand the journal because I don't know very much about how these things are supposed to go because we don't do them around here.
Well, you used to.
Well,
You could
obviously, but
you could kind of read it two ways, I think. You could read it as Rias says, that the souls here are trapped and they were warning something, but the very fact that he could hear them and they weren't letting that poor woman be revived, it says to me that maybe it was something pretending to be the souls, maybe. Which is maybe just me borrowing trouble, but that's a whole bigger situation.
okay.
Maybe the entity is trying to find a new body.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That sounds great. So it's going to be super great when we do a ritual where we try to put a soul into my body, right?
Susanna.
We
There's
will
a
have
soul
protections
already
for
there.
you.
I know.
There's a soul already there right next to where you're going to be. It's
Right.
not as if he's kind of trying to retrieve. We're trying to retrieve your soul. It's right there.
Okay.
All we're trying to do is forge the bonds back together.
I know. I mean, obviously I already agreed to this. I'm just still a little bit concerned about it because, I don't think I'm not going to be nervous about it. I think I'm going to be nervous about it until we do it. But
I mean, that's fine. It's like it's like getting surgery. You know you're probably going to be fine, but there's always a slight chance something could go wrong and oop, you're paralyzed forever.
anybody who's ever gotten surgery that I know, it has not been fun.
Yeah, you need good healers. Anyways.
Well, we're going to be there, Susanna, and the moment anything looks like it's going wrong, one of us will pull it and we'll stop, rather than risking you, I promise.
Okay.
And if we can't, we will protect you.
I'm just curious, do you think, because apparently in the jungle there was, a ghost that, do you think that, this could possibly, I'm not saying do you think it will, but do you think there is a chance that I will end up with somebody else's soul walking around in my body?
Possibly, but there's a way to get rid of that.
Okay, cool. Okay, just trying to think about all that could possibly go wrong.
As the one that we tether is definitively your mockingbird, and not something else, we, in theory, should be able to get rid of it the same way that we got rid of the ghosts. With a bit of a nod to Vera. I think it's the tether that matters.
Right.
We have options.
Okay.
So no need to
All
get
right,
too
thanks.
worried about it.
And, Susanna,
Uh-huh.
do you trust us to protect you, should it be necessary?
Well, I've seen you all
Not
do
just
some
in this.
pretty crazy things. So yeah, I do trust you. I don't want you guys to think that I don't trust you. I'm just scared because this is a little bit of uncharted territory for everybody, I think.
This is folklore. I don't...
We are the stuff of legends. Congratulations to all of us.
I don't think we should be. That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I think
Yeah.
we're too much of a mess for legends, but we sure as hell could be some crazy folk tale.
The legends are always
I
a
mean-
mess. What are you talking about? If you ever sit down and
I'm
actually
sure-
think about what the people do in Legends,
Oh yeah, yes.
they're just terrible, aren't they?
Hmm.
And I'm sure people who have encountered us have some wild stories. Like, do you think the folks from Kessberg, if they know even some of what happened, don't have absolutely out there stories about what we did?
I
Hey,
think every
remember-
person that's ever talked to me has come away with, wow.
That
You are a wow
Probably
of a
true.
person.
wow.
What did you say about me?
Vias just puts his hands on his hips and he said, "You heard me. Don't talk down to yourself."
I, as Josh, actually did not.
Oh, a wow of a person.
Oh, okay. Ow, I just
Oh,
hit my head.
oh no.
You okay?
Oh, buddy.
It was very...
Oh no.
I'm good. Continue, I'm sorry.
But yeah, that
Okay.
was what he said.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Okay. So, you all are going to go and have a magnificent time at the celebration. I insist that at least most of you dance because there's no point in going if you're not going to dance.
Oh, I plan on dancing. I plan on drinking quite a bit because I haven't done that in a while. And then I'm going to talk with as many people as possible and see what happens.
Bias,
Check
the
with
last time you did that was when we left Eppley. If that feels like quite a while to
It
you.
does, actually, a little bit.
I think the last time I shot something was in Italy.
Oh, that's right.
random
Marcy is going to be staying with you, by the way. With you all.
Oh,
Um,
right. I appreciate.
Just to be in case something happens. I mean, I know we have the rings, but
Question.
Oh, right, because you're always chatting in those rings.
yeah, why don't you wear yours?
I'm not allowed.
Question: who are the people that potentially might possibly be undead but might not be?
As far as Vias and Vera know, somebody who was in Liza and Danny Crow's house could have been Liza or Danny Crow, could have been somebody else, unclear. But
Okay.
Liza and Danny are the chief suspects at the moment.
We have got
Yeah.
to test the
Okay.
theory.
With relation to what Susanna just said, Dana kind of turns and, I mean, they aren't big rings. Couldn't you just wear it under the glove and have it pass?
I mean, I could, I guess.
Hey. You don't have to, but we do use them to keep in touch with each other and keep all of us in the
It's-
loop about what we find.
You know, it just I've done a pretty good job sticking to the rules under the circumstances, and you know, it
Or
seems.
do the rings work as necklaces?
I'm just not going to worry about it because Talia will be here and Talia has a ring, and Mercy will be here and Mercy can talk. So it's fine.
Vias just pats her little raven head. She just like blinks her eyes once,
Classic Mercy.
clicks her beak at you.
I would click my beak right back, but unfortunately I don't have one.
Where's the mockingbird at this point?
The mockingbird has been perched on Talia's shoulder since Talia got up.
Wait,
So
the reason I ask is that the mockingbird does have a beak.
the mockingbird has a beak. Oh, I'm
Mercy
so
had
stupid.
tilted her head at the beak comment, like tilted it to the side.
Yeah, so the mockingbird can in fact click its beak at Mercy. Susanna can't, but God, I'm stupid, guys.
You were not stupid.
I just
No.
forgot that I had a bird that is also under my control.
So many birds.
And it is also Susanna.
That is also Susanna. Yes, that's the key point. I have many
Susanna
birds.
is like, I have a beak, and Susanna's like, I do not.
Yep. Okay. So, just a couple, pieces of advice, all right? don't ever dance, because once you dance a few dances in a row, then you will get very tired, but you'll feel like obligated to keep going because people will keep asking you because they see you're in a mood to dance, and then you'll have to dance the whole time. So take breaks between your dancing. But do dance, because if you don't dance, then I will be very disappointed to hear about it later. Ask somebody, probably somebody from Idle Hands, about the punch, because some of the punch is spiked and some of it isn't, and they always change which one it is. Then there'll be betting if you talk to the Idle Hands folk. That'll be fun if you guys like that sort of thing.
I don't think I have any money left.
It's not much. It's like silver.
Let's
But-
see.
And I can cover you for buying into the pot if you want to.
Oh, I have like 8 gold and 11 silver. I'm fine. Just Jengus's
Yes.
purse a little bit.
Also, how?
I bought a loom, I bought clothes, I bought different types of I bought the ink for that. Well, no, technically that was like a split purchase for Talia.
You and
special
your
inks.
clothes.
What?
Clothes are nice.
Yes, I have one set of pajamas, one is my normal gear, and then I have 2 fancy outfits.
I brought like 2 shirts.
Oh, that. When do you wash them? Oh no, your silence scares.
No.
That's it. We don't share a bed anymore until you wash your clothes.
Sorry, I was talking to my dad because I'm upstairs and he heard me.
Oof.
Listen, don't ask that question.
Oh my god.
When have the rest of you been washing your clothes?
In reverse. Also,
I've been
Diana
asking
makes
Veyra to
water
clean it
quite
for me.
often.
Prestidigitation. I can do it for you if you'd like. It's really no trouble.
Cool.
Wait, Vera. Oh wait, no, that doesn't last for very long, does it? I was gonna say you can make things smell with prestidigitation, yes?
Yes.
You could make me smell like roses.
For 1 minute intervals, yes.
That's so sad.
What the hell are you talking about? What is that word?
Intervals?
No, the big one.
Prestidigitation.
Press the yes.
It's the thing Lena can. It's the thing Vera can do that lets her clean clothes and do a couple of other things. It's wizard bullshit.
Like when
Diana
she,
says with a smile.
She's not
like
a
when she
wizard.
cleaned up all the blood from the hag. That's first time we all met.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
She'll wiggle her fingers and like a couple sparks will just...
Dylan does not like that.
Uh-oh.
Why
Oh,
is Dylan so fucking mistrustful of magic?
Dylan is
He's a
totally a
warlock.
cat. Dylan is such a cat.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, Lena dancing in armor. Sorry.
Lena has no intention of dancing.
That'd be
Good
so
luck with that.
funny.
Good fucking luck with that, Amy.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Just like you're not allowed to kill Lena if I'm not here, you're not allowed to force her to dance if I'm not here. Whoops, I gotta go to bed soon.
Well, it's first of all, dancing can also be a performance check, which is charisma based.
God damn it.
Oh.
Gotcha.
I mean, either way, Diana's probably in trouble. So
It's true. Diona's in trouble, but that's fine because she's gonna do it anyway.
I figured that Lena is kind of, catastrophically has 2 left feet, but she smiles sweetly and looks so utterly clueless that
Yep.
she gets away with it.
Yep.
It's how Lena talks herself out of most situations. Just smile and hope for the best.
It works. It works. And if any of you are going to be messing with Liza, be careful, alright? Don't make a scene.
I think she just does that herself. We don't even have to do anything.
Right. But like, she can make a scene if you mess with her, but don't let yourself be part of that scene. You know?
Ooh, I'm going to prepare my spells so that they're more.
You should prepare your spells because spells
Yes.
are important.
Well, I mean,
Um,
that's not what I wanted.
Just, be careful when you're messing with Liza.
possibly. Dana looks like and then she shakes her head and, no, I'm not done fucking with Liza. I'm not done.
Oh my.
Lena has intentions to walk past Liza and Danny and pull a divine sense to see if she can tell which of them is undead.
That's a good move that you might want to play.
Past, smiling, politely, nodding, not actually touching them or interfering or punching anyone in the face.
Bias
Right.
has taken for note, charm person, healing word,
That's gonna go
Oh,
well.
long
no.
strider, and purify food and drink, just in case.
So if anybody's trying to poison you,
Yep. Or I don't want
I will
mean-
keep this in mind.
Lena has Zone of Truth and Hold Person, which is a fun combination. Just saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I also took
Excellent.
Hold Person, so.
Bias also has hypnotic pattern just in case we want them to stop moving.
Jesus!
All right, y'all.
Listen.
I'd like to point out I have Hold Person always prepared, so that is not something that I have picked.
Mood. Mine's for my warlock. I also have whole person.
On that note, because you all seem very itching to get to a party, you all can set out. All right, we can, if there's anything else you'd like to do before party time, go right ahead. But if not, we can jump ahead and get on to the celebration hours.
Yo, while we're all looking, forgot I gave Dylan Spare the Dying.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm trying to look at spells like, what is useful at the party?
Spare the
Nothing.
dying.
Just in case
Spare-
somebody freaking die.
Oh,
Just in
silence
case.
might be good if Dylan.
Oh lord.
Oh
Suggestion.
no!
Oh god.
Oh,
You guys.
no.
You guys, it's a party.
Hell yeah, no parties bad.
And we're ready for it, damn it.
There's no party
Dimension
without charm
door.
person and
Dimension door.
suggestion.
I hate all of you.
And whole person.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
The only thing Dana's going to do before we head out is she is gonna sort of, at some point, trying to not be mobbed by the group, she's gonna try and touch base with Susanna and make sure Susanna's doing alright.
Susanna, you can sort of be in the corner somewhere while everybody
Yeah.
else is doing their last touches and
Sus, how
Yeah.
are you feeling?
well, I'm about the same as I was yesterday, which is a little bit concerned about the fact that I don't have a soul and a little bit disappointed that I don't get to go to a party to distract myself from the fact that I don't have a soul. But I think that it's going to be okay. So,
Well, I'm sure that Mercy will give you a running commentary about our bullshit.
oh, I hope so. I mean, be careful. I'll say it again. Don't get caught doing whatever you're gonna do.
Well,
But-
I can't speak for anyone else, but all I have planned is a bit of an undignified soaking.
Of course you do.
And that's not traceable after it resolves. So,
All right. Good to know.
but I wanted to check and remind you that you are a friend. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're willing to do absolute nonsense out of folk tales to try and help you. And that's why you got my watch. To remind you that you are cared about and that there is more outside of Corwick. Yeah?
Thanks, Diana. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out your watch and says, well, look at the time. You better be going or you'll be late. Guests of honor, go. Get out of here.
Stay
Dance.
safe, sis.
Go dance. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Get drunk. have fun. Don't get too drunk. Make sure Vice doesn't get too
At
drunk.
this point, Lena's full on. Are you sure I can't just stay behind as well?
I mean, you can if you desperately want to, darling. I mean, that's allowed, but Talia's got a great
No.
excuse, and you don't, so...
I need to go check out the undead people, see if they're really undead.
I hope they're not. That would be bad. Don't kill anybody in the middle of the town square, even if they are undead, mind you.
During
I'll,
the talk that Diona
Try my
and
best. Did you realize I kind of have a direct mandate from God to kill undead things, yes?
Me too.
Yeah, I kind of do as well.
It's
So
kind
could you
of
just not do
literally
it in the
part
middle of a
my-
party?
I'll try my best, no
I'll-
promises. It was kind of
I'll
literally part of
contain
my
myself.
divine orders, but...
Dylan asked the Raven Queen if he is allowed to not kill undead people in the middle of a party.
The Raven Queen does not dignify that with a response.
Great.
during the conversation that Diona and Susanna were having, Mercy has just been like by Talia by the Mockingbird and has been repeating Vice's wow that he had said to Dylan at the Mockingbird and clicking her beak.
Oh my god. The Mockingbird, you can't tell if it seems entertained or not. But it sure is just sitting there.
Mercy's, please.
Can everybody, what's everybody's passive perceptions if you guys remember them off the top of your head? Just a quick question.
21.
21.
Jesus.
Woo!
I forgot that your passive perception was
15.
so fucking
It's
high.
nuts with Marcus,
16.
man.
16.
Lena sees shit.
Okay. So, they had 16, Dylan had 21. That's okay. So if you have
Dylan sees all.
if you have above 15, you would have noticed probably about 11:30. So a little bit before you guys left, there was somebody who walked past Susanna's house closer than you might have expected them to, very quickly, just a quick pass by, but they seemed to be looking at the house. And it looked like a gentleman of some sort because you would have noticed if they were wearing a skirt. And that is just what you notice. It's a very quick, like you look out the window, somebody is walking away from the house. So, but that was, 11:30. Now it's time for you guys to head
Dylan
out
doesn't like that.
and enjoy the party.
That's ominous.
So, you guys head out. And you guys head to the town square, which you passed through on the tour. I just didn't say it during the tour because I forgot about the town fucking square.
It's because
Dylan,
it's
this is
obvious,
a place
that's
you've seen
why.
before.
Yeah, Dylan, you remember this both from the first time you passed through it, the second time you passed through it, and the dream you had before coming here. It's got streamers and colorful ribbons and fabric draped everywhere. There's a broken fountain in the middle that is also covered in fabric. There are tables set up all around the perimeter of the square that are just laden down with food and various dishes of all sorts. There's a little stage sort of set up by the fountain where there are a few instruments lying about. Nobody's up on the stage yet. And there are a lot of people, most of whom you have not seen before, and those you have, the majority of them, you've just seen like on their porches, not actually met them. So there's
PK,
quite a few people around. Yeah.
what are you going to do to my boy at this party?
I'm not going to do anything to your boy at this party.
Are you sure?
Well, when you ask like that, I feel like
Because based on that dream, I'm expecting something to happen to my beautiful, darling boy Dylan at this party, and you wouldn't do anything like that, would you?
nothing's going to happen to your beautiful, darling boy Dylan at this party.
At this party?
At this party.
At other
You-
events, sure.
And-
But not at this party.
Are you
promise
lying
you-
to me?
I promise you that nothing will happen to your beautiful, darling boy Dylan unless your beautiful, darling boy Dylan makes big mistakes at this party.
You know he's going to.
So, let's just all move along with
Will
the
any
reassurance.
dream-related things happen to my beautiful, darling boy Dylan if we stay in this town PK?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I don't know what might happen ever. I don't know a thing. Keep going. Keep going to the party. It's fun. It's fine.
It's not fine, but okay.
It's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Your beautiful darling boy is not the target of anything.
The amount of times you said fine made me feel less fine about this situation.
So, everybody, beautiful darling boy Dylan included, makes it to the town square, and there's a bunch of people, and there's food around, and there are plates for the food, and there is a punch table over at the other side of the square if anybody wants to head that way immediately. You can make perception checks to see if you notice anybody you know, or you can simply vibe. There's no music yet. People are gathering around. There are people talking. It's very busy, quite loud. But
can I perceptions transport any of the Idle Hands crew?
Yes, go ahead. Would you like me to roll for you?
Yes, please.
Got you. Perception. Where is that owner's perception? Okay. Oh, not bad. That is... Oh, they're not hiding. So, you see, indeed, over by the punch table, not directly next to it, but over by there, you see a little gathering. You recognize Louisa first, because she's the one you have, engaged with the most out of this crew. You do not see Gertie or Miss Ida, but you see Louisa, and next to Louisa, you see Eric, who had taken your coats, or given your coats back, talked to you briefly at any point, and sort of a little gathering all around them that all seems to be of the similar squad. And in fact, when you see Eric sees you, and he waves at you and seems to try and wave you over.
Yeah, Diana does not recognize him because she was talking to Ida at the time when he showed up, but...
Oh, right. Oh, I forgot that. Okay, well, anyway, Eric is waving at all of you, and waving you all over.
Dylan waves back.
Excellent. And not everything I say about Dylan is like a fucking plot against Dylan, my dude.
Because of that dream, I am so suspicious of literally everything that's happening.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Are you sure about
I'm
that?
positive. Let me clarify. The town square is not the dream that you had last night.
Okay. Oh, it's the other one.
It's the other one.
Okay.
So, you've had a dream about... Yeah.
Where was the other one?
Well, you could make an intelligence check to try and figure that out if you want.
I would love to, actually.
Okay.
Oh, hey!
Nice.
Nat 20.
Okay! Yeah, okay. So, you're pretty sure, especially with all the talk in the morning, you're pretty sure that your dream was in Raven's grave.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But it's fine.
Okay, that makes me feel worse.
Yeah, okay. See, this is why you don't ask questions. Do you guys...
All right, I've
we
learned my
will
lesson.
eventually be able to holy fire purge Raven's grave, but we can't yet.
Do you guys all go to see the Idle Hands crew?
We should.
Yeah.
Again, Diana definitely will. She doesn't know about the rest of y'all, but
Yeah.
Diana seems determined that the Idle Hands group are good people and allies in our quest to fuck with the crows.
Vice is going
Lena-
to randomly pick a punch bowl and grab a drink from it.
Yeah, Lena is deliberately asking which punch bowl is not spiked.
Vice is doing this before asking.
Okay. So you
Dylan
get
doesn't
there.
want to know. He's just switching in between the two of them and seeing what happens.
Hold on. First of all, there are 3 punch bowls. Second of all, you get there and immediately Eric, who is he's blonde, he's tall, he's a good-looking guy.
Eyes.
If you're
Of
into
course.
dudes.
Of course. Yes. So for the gays in the crowd,
Eric from Blood.
Stop
True
it.
Blood.
Is
Stop
he cute?
No.
He's cute. He's definitely cute, Dylan.
Oh.
Okay, but the point is, he waves to all of you, and as you get there, he's like, all right now. It's good to see you all again. It's good to meet you, young lady. Pointing at Diana. And he says, you all, Gertie says you should be involved in this. You all, do you want to bet? We're betting.
Betting on
Yes.
what?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Okay, every year, every celebration, every single celebration, come close, come close. And he waves you all in, and it's a tight little huddle of you guys over there. Every celebration, first dance, very first dance. Miss Ida will go, and she will ask the crow to dance, and they cannot refuse, which is excellent.
Whoa.
Asks the crow to dance and embarrasses them because they hate dancing with her, because they don't want to be seen dancing with her, but they can't say no, otherwise they have to sit out of dancing for the whole rest of the celebration, and nobody wants to do that. All right? You get the rules? So, we
Yes.
are betting on who Miss Ida is dancing with today. Now, smart money is on Carolina. Myself, Thomas, and Zoe, we all think that. Louisa has a long shot bet on Liza, but she will lose her money. And let's see here. Who else is bet? Vivian bet on Devin, but he hasn't shown his ugly mug yet, so she will be losing her money as well. You've got about 10 minutes before the dancing starts, but place your bets. The options, we think, Carolina, Idris, Marion, Liza, Danny, or Devin. Any one of them could be it. But the smart money's on Carolina.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with Liza.
I would love to go for
Oh.
Liza, but I think I'm gonna go with Danny for this one.
All right, okay, marking these down. He has like a little notebook. He's very intense about
How
this.
much is our betting you? Do we just choose or what?
I mean, most people are around the range of 5 silver. We're not. It's not too rich for most people's taste. It's just a little fun bet between friends.
I'll just do 6 silver then. That'll get me a little bit.
Okay, so
I'll do 5.
Vera for Liza, Bias for Danny. Eric is eagerly looking around.
Lena's
At the
also
others.
going to slide 5 silver over on her dancing with Liza.
All right.
Dylan slides. Can Dylan bet on multiple?
I feel like that sort of defeats the purpose.
We only bet on one, unfortunately, because she only's got one first dance. But
No, that's no fun because you can have like a little bit of money on one, but then a lot of money on the other, and so
you know what?
You put a lot of money on the one that's more risky.
Just for you, I'm interested. So go ahead and make your 2 bets.
Oh fuck! I backed myself. See, 'cause I'm torn between Liza and Carolina. Because on one hand, Carolina saved money, but on the other hand, I am not a smart man, and I would really love her to dance with Liza.
Dylan,
We would all love
do
her to
what your
dance with
heart
Liza.
needs.
You know what? My heart says Liza. Forget the double betting. See, there aren't enough options here for double betting to be worth it. You know.
Mm-mm.
Very well. All right. You for Liza as well. It's looking.
Dylan slides over 5 silver, like
Okay.
everybody else.
Okay, cool.
Except for Fias with his 6 silver, so I could make my remaining silver 5.
Any bet from who's left? Joe might have to go. Talia's not here. All right, we're gonna stick with that then. You all, Hugh seems very excited about the fact that you all so immediately took to this game, and so does everybody else. There's a small gathering of people, and they all introduce themselves to you. There's another man, dark hair. His name is Thomas. Introduces himself to you. There is Louisa, who you already met. She waves at you all. And then there are 2 young ladies who introduce themselves as Zoe and Vivian, and they all sort of seem quite pleased that there's more people betting because it adds a little bit of interest into their game. And Zoe will say to you all right now, so the punch, it's great punch, fantastic punch, but if you want to stay fully in control of your faculties all afternoon, you're going to want to stick to the bottom 2 bowls and not the center one, because the center one is heavily, and I mean heavily spiked, all right? So keep an eye out for that.
Excellent. That is the one I wanted.
Dylan's plan is to switch randomly between all 3, regardless of which one is spiked.
All right. Good to know. And who did I just say was talking? Zoe? All right. Vivian will lead you guys over to pass out some punch to you if anybody is interested in punch. And
Fias
she
takes
will.
from the center.
All right.
Feyre will sample it. She's curious about the quality of the alcohol here.
Yeah.
It's pretty quality, actually. It's pretty decent. It's better than you would expect would have been used to spike some celebration punch.
All
right.
Alcohol.
For Dylan's first one is for the center.
Okay, going for the center bowl. So everybody's drinking the spiked punch so far.
Lena is
Vioso-
drinking the
Vioso-
unspiked punch.
Fair enough.
Vias will clink his glass with Dylan if he wants. Cheers.
Dylan is debating on whether or not he's going to regret this by the end of it.
Vias, no regrets.
Vias has never had a regret in his whole life.
You
right.
don't know him very well.
So
Dylan sees Vias and he's like, this is just a little man.
Just a little man.
He's
Little
just
man.
vibing out here making his bad decisions. And you know what? Mood.
I mean,
Let's
Dylan
see.
is also the same. But
Yes, but Dylan is also taller.
Yes, he is taller man vibing, making bad decisions.
do you all sort of stick near to the idle hands crowd in the punch table, or do you start wandering around once you get your drinks?
Vias is
Dylan
for
starts
sure
wandering.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lena's gonna wander.
All
We're
right,
just gonna stick with idle hands, folks.
all right. They immediately take you up in conversation, Vera, chatting about whatever the fuck you guys want to chat about. Those who are wandering, you can, if anybody is looking for specific people, such as, Liza, Danny, or Miss Ida, for example, you can make perception checks to do that. Or if you are not, then you just sort of wander around. You see an awful lot of people. You're starting to recognize more faces. You see Cynthia and Cougar Crow with their 2 little children held between them, and they are chatting with, some folk that Lena actually recognizes from the temple. Vias would too. All of you would recognize from the temple because both of you talked to Anna at the temple. And they seem to be having a very pleasant conversation. There is a little bit more activity going on by the stage. People are picking instruments up and moving them and switching them around, but nobody's actually starting music as of yet. There are, as I said before, tables and tables full of food everywhere, and it all smells fantastic. So if you guys want to eat, you can eat as well.
Vias does eat because an empty stomach with alcohol is no good.
Yes. So you can. There's all sorts of snacks.
Dylan eats a little.
Yeah. You
All
don't
right.
Eat too much.
Lena
Not
is
a-
gonna. Sorry, go
Not
on.
a lot, but like a tiny bit.
Lena.
Lena's gonna do kind of a once around to see if she can see any of the crows, specifically Liza or Danny, and then she's gonna go talk to Anna from the temple
All right.
and be polite.
Make a perception check to find
boy.
crows specifically.
Do I have to?
Perception check.
You
Oh,
do.
15. That's not too bad, actually.
15. All right. Again, none of these people are hiding. It's just that there's a bunch of people in the way, so it's a little bit more difficult. So you see a lot of crows, some that you recognize. Well, I guess you only see the crows that you recognize because you wouldn't know the other ones are crows.
Yep.
But you see Marion and Idris Crow who are chatting. Actually, you see Miss Ida as well because she is chatting with Marion and Idris Crow, and nobody looks happy about that situation. You do not see Devin Crow. You see Carolina Crow, but most importantly, you see Danny and Liza, who are sort of standing off to one side with punch and food in hand, and neither of them are speaking to each other. They're just sort of watching. So,
Okay, Lena's going to kind of just wander past, nod politely, drop a divine sense as she goes past, and then just carry on walking.
all right, and Divine Sense would show up immediately if these guys were undead, right?
Yeah. You know the location of any celestial feed or undead within 60 feet. 60 feet is not behind total cover.
Right. Okay. So you do sense some undead crows, being the birds, sort of perching around the whole town square area and on the fountain. But as you glance specifically at Danny and Liza Crow, neither of them ping
Okay.
as undead.
Well, that answers that question, I suppose.
All right.
Danny have children?
Okay, Lena's going to kind of tell everyone that through the ring, and then go be polite and talk to Anna.
All right. Anna is, she is just leaving her conversation with Cynthia and Cougar Crow. Why do I have so many NPCs? This sucks.
You did this to yourself.
I did this to myself. sees you approaching and has a warm smile on her face and says, "Oh, and how are you doing today, Miss Lena?"
Oh, I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
"Oh, just wonderful, just wonderful. How is everything? How is everything?"
Oh, it's well, everything always looks a little bit better, I suppose, in the light of day. It's everything's better than I thought it would be, actually.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful to hear you say that.
Through her teeth.
Yeah, Anna is just accepting this at face value because this is how small talk works in Corwick. And
she totally do small talk.
She starts talking now, a little bit about, and there's gonna be music soon, it's a whole, everybody's been worrying about who's gonna play the instruments after everything that happened, but I think it'll all work out in the end. And are you gonna dance today?
Oh, well, I'm not really very good with the dancing, so you
don't have to be good at the dancing to dance, you just have to dance.
Depends how many people don't mind risking their toes, but maybe we'll see perhaps later.
Lovely, lovely. It would just be such a shame for a lovely young lady such as yourself to go without dancing for a whole celebration.
Well, I mean, Susanna said pretty much the same thing, and maybe, like I say, later. I'm sure one of the others will drag me into something at some point. They usually do.
Well, I hope you have just the loveliest time and dance with whoever your heart sees fit to, and she gets... Go ahead.
No, go for it.
She gets a little bit thoughtful looking at your mention of Susanna, and she says, "Yes, well, Mrs. Crow is a wonderful dancer." And that's pretty much it, so you can...
Yeah, Lena's just kind of one of those people who kind of makes awkward small talk and then kind of, I think one of the others is kind of waving. I probably have to go see what's going on. Lovely speaking to you.
Very good job on the small talk. You nip right out of there just as awkwardly as you nipped in, and
I think that's the point.
Yep, it's perfect.
Yep. Lena doesn't do small talk.
Various enjoys some small talk.
Let's see here.
Dylan thinks he's good at it.
Dylan is good at everything.
The key word here is thinks.
Bless.
Vera, you have been sticking around the Idle Hands folk, and it seems more people are moving towards the stage, and people seem to be taking and picking dance partners now. And so there's a lot of sort of tension, and everybody looks excited in the Idle Hands crew. And then out of nowhere, Gertie comes running up, grabs Eric by the shoulder, and she says, "Marion, it's going to be Marion. My bet's on Marion, a gold on Marion." And Eric looks shocked, but takes the gold and says, "All right, but nobody here agrees with you." And Gertie says, "I don't care if anybody agrees with me. I care if I'm right." And Gertie seems a little bit flustered at having showed up so late, but she is still put together, wearing a lovely purple dress, ribbons in her hair. Not the ones that Susanna stole from her, alas. Different ribbons. But looking quite well. And you all looking around, Vivian looks very sour because Devon Crow has not yet emerged and shown up, and so therefore her bet has been wasted. And she seems very angry. You've basically just missed some small talk from Lena. Lena discovering that Liza and Danny are not apparently undead, and Gertie arriving in all of her glory. Welcome back, Joe. And now it is time for me to roll to find out who Ida DeBelle is dancing with today.
Oh.
It's very important. And you see people start coming up on stage. Coover Crow has one of his daughters around his shoulder. It's like she's sitting up top on his shoulders, but the smaller of the two daughters, which, she's pretty petite. If she fell off of his shoulders, she could get very dead, but it's just because he's tall. But she seems delighted at being so tall. And let me find my chart that has which number means what for this roll. There we
You have
go.
a chart.
I do have a chart. I set up for the betting.
Excellent.
And you guys see Cougar Crow get up on stage. She has a banjo. You see a woman none of you would have met, I don't think, step up on stage. And after a lot of talk and pushing and prodding, actually Anna from the temple gets pushed up on stage with a fiddle in hand. So congratulations, Lena. You're not going to have to make small talk again with her for a while. And Ida DeBell. Oh, good call,
Oh.
Joe. Ida DeBell is, as the music strikes up, Ida DeBell takes Idris Crow by the hand and
Damn
pulls him out onto the dance floor.
Oh no!
And
Oh, there goes
the-
the silver.
the entire Idle Hands crew looks surprised, delighted, but also a little bit disappointed. And let me do some math. I'll have to do some math later about how much silver you get, Joe. But everyone, including Gertie, is very reluctant to hand you the victory, which indeed
Oh, Dylan is not.
you have got. Yes, the center punch bowl is spiked.
Oh yeah. How long does it take to finish the punch?
They're little glasses of punch. So,
Oh.
Vice is gonna have 2 and then call it for a little bit. See what happens.
Dylan's having. Yeah, he goes for one of the non-spiked ones. I've decided that 2 is the spiked bowl.
yes. All right. So, you guys can refill your punch, enjoy yourselves. The music is fun. The dancing is lively. There's a lot of spinning, a lot of footwork. Everybody here seems to be quite good at dancing. You don't notice anybody to be a shitty dancer. None of the Idle Hands folk are dancing yet, but they are watching and cheering anytime Ida and Idris sort of sweep past them in the circle.
How distressed does Idris appear?
Make an insight check on Idris Crow.
That's
He. I forget which one this is, which is probably because Dylan does.
This is Susanna's father-in-law, and
That's
he
what I
looks
thought.
Oh.
so sullen and upset. Like, he seems just angry.
Yeah.
So he's not pleased. Ida DeBell looks radiant, delighted. She winks at you all as she passes with
Hold
her
on.
unwilling
Can
dance partner.
Fires go up to Marion is his wife, yes.
Yes.
Vice is going to ask her to dance.
Okay. She make a persuasion check because she's not too happy either.
Oh, let's see, where's my persuasion? 12?
It's enough. She doesn't. She'll sort of
her
curtsy
favorite.
towards you and say, "Yes, thank you," and take your hand, and you can sweep her off into the crowd of dancers. Are you
Excellent.
trying to emulate the local style? Or-
He will try. He knows a few dance moves, but probably not
All
this
right.
one, since he knows mostly Marquesian and or waltz.
All right. Make a performance check.
Oh boy. 10, that's average.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, bless.
She is clearly a better dancer than you in this style, but she doesn't seem to be offended by your talents. She's just
Excellent.
dancing. She doesn't seem sullen the way Idris did. She seems more accepting.
Who's the
Excellent.
cutest Idle Hands boy?
It depends on if you like blondes or brunettes.
Dylan does not care.
All right, then I will roll to figure out which Idle Hands boy is cutest. It is Eric.
Yeah.
Ooh, Eric.
Eric, who is the blonde,
Hmm.
Oh,
was running the
no.
betting.
Okay, I'll hold that information for a little bit.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
good to know. Diona can approach Cynthia, and Cynthia, who has just been seen as sort of the music changes and continues its the band doesn't show any sign of stopping, Cynthia drags her oldest, who is, oh lord, what is the child's name? Cassie. Drags Cassie off the dance floor, and Cassie seems very, very put out by this. And she says, Mama, again. And Cynthia says, I need to rest my feet, darling. And Cynthia looks exhausted because if you've seen her on the dance floor, she was swooping her up and down.
Aww.
She turns to you when you offer your help, and she says, oh, what about it, Cassie? Do you want a new dance partner? And Cassie says, and she looks at you, Diona, and she's doing some mental math. She's like, Mommy could lift me this high in the air. Miss Diona can lift me much higher in the air. And she is elated, and she does grabby hands at you.
So cute.
And demands some dancing. Excellent. She takes your hand, and you can easily lift her out of Cynthia's arms. And Cynthia just looks at you, sort of nods, thank you. And she goes to get herself some punch because she is worn out because she's been swinging a 5-year-old in circles.
Oh my god, that was such a cute image.
So, congratulations. You have a little kidlet, Diona.
So
The other kidlet is still on stage with her father, and she's clapping along to the music. Her percussion is the most important part of the band, in fact. She is
Good.
essential. The rhythm section would not be the same without her.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, Vice is going to let Marion rest and rest himself as well. Get some
Yeah, so
regular
after
punch.
sort of the first dance comes to a definite conclusion, which they're very long stretches of music time, that's a phrase, you can sort of leave Marion with her husband, who had pulled away from Ida DeBelle a little bit earlier, and Ida has returned to the Idle Hands troupe and seems to be inquiring after how the betting went. And she laughs when she hears that Diona is the only one who won any money. And she says, well, I'm surprised at you thinking I would waste my time with Carolina today. At everybody who betted on Carolina, which is most of her people. And they all seem to laugh, take it in good humor. And Ida fetches herself some punch. Some non-spiked punch. She's just starting her afternoon. Let's see, what else is going on? There's a lot going on. Vias, you can take your rest. You can get some more punch.
Yeah.
Now that Ida has danced the first dance, it seems like the Idle Hands folk are sort of itching to get into it and start dancing, and so probably, let me see, I have so many Idle Hands people.
Vias will take one, rest a little bit, and then probably go up to somebody from Idle Hands and ask if they'd like to dance.
Do you have any preference on who? Just anybody?
Yeah, he's not too picky about anyone. Anyone who would enjoy a dance, he's fine with.
They're all seeming to enjoy dances. In fact, Vera, the young Zoe, asks you if you're down to dance.
She looks very... She'll do it, but she's like, oh, this isn't going to end well.
All right, excellent. And she will take you to the dance floor. We'll say, yeah, okay. Thomas will dance with Vias. Anybody else?
We stole the
If
men.
if Lena's hanging around the Idle Hands folk, one of them's gonna try and get her to dance.
I mean, Lena stood there just kind of watching the dancing, I'd say, at this point, after having kind of not discovered Undead.
All right, in that case,
Just want to dance.
that you ask Eric to dance,
Yes.
Eric will gladly dance with you.
Hell yeah.
And Vivian, I think, will approach Lena and says, well, do you dance then?
Well, I can't promise that I'm any good, but Susanna pretty much ordered me to dance, and far be it from me to, let her down.
Well,
yes,
that ain't
I'd
our
love to dance.
Susanna. All
I'd
right,
love
go
to
ahead.
dance.
Excellent. I'm a good dancer. I'll lead you. And she pulls you very firmly out onto the dance floor. And you can make everybody who's dancing make some kind of performance check, all with advantage, because the Idle Hands folk are all leading you and trying very hard to make you not look.
That's 10 again.
Okay.
Oh, Bias.
Vias, you're really kind of struggling with this style. It just doesn't vibe with you the same way. Dylan, you can make it an advantage. Lena, this is like, you're sure this is the best you've ever danced in your life. It's really,
My
it's
reasoning,
really,
I think my reasoning for Vias doing so poorly is he's looking at Dylan
Yeah.
dancing.
yeah, okay. Dylan is rocking it. Dylan is doing fantastic.
Dylan's having a great time.
Dylan is vibing fantastically. And Vera, you're doing a lot better than you expected. And indeed, the young Zoe is quite a firm hand as she leads you, but she's very very friendly and laughs, and they all sort of chat with you when there's time to breathe. And let's see here. After Diona gives Cassie back to Cynthia, and Cynthia thanks you again very profusely for sparing her feet for a few minutes, you can go back to the Idle Hand Squad, which at this point has diminished to mostly Gertie, Louisa, and Ida. And Gertie will approach you and says, "Oh, so I heard you wanted to speak with me." Because Gertie is like that. Also, if anybody's paying attention, at some point Devin Crow does show his ugly mug.
Feyre will loom around him.
Ah, good. Looming content. Gertie looks intrigued by this Diona, and she says, "Ooh, something in mind. Well, do explain, do illuminate me."
God.
She can sort of lead you a little bit away from the main clusters of people, so you can have a little more of a quiet chat. Gotta turn my fan on. It's hot up here. What the fuck? Who said this was okay?
God.
Fuck that shit.
Who does he think he is?
Who does he think he is?
Listen, I don't know. You know, he's out there, he's like, I'm gonna make it cold. Fuck off. I'm gonna make everyone come to your store and they're all gonna order Frappuccino.
Rip.
Fuck off. I've broken the Starbucks servers. Sorry, I'm still salty about work from yesterday. You know how Starbucks prints out the stickers and they put them on the cups? Ours broke.
Oh, double rip.
So we had to go into the system and be like, okay, what did they order? And then get out our Sharpies and write it on the cups ourselves. And then we're like 25 minutes behind. There's angry people outside like, I want my Starbucks. It's like, well, maybe if you hadn't ordered any, we wouldn't have this problem now, would we? Go home. Don't get Starbucks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe stay home during a pandemic or something.
Maybe don't order while you're standing outside. Like, you walk up, you get out your phone, you order, and they're like, oh, why is it taking 20 minutes to make my drink? Because you didn't order ahead. Decide what you want before you get here. Okay, that's my Starbucks rant.
Understandable.
Thank you.
That's a good Starbucks rant.
Thanks. If any of y'all are going to Starbucks, I swear to God.
I don't think I've gone out for food since, like...
You don't need it.
Yeah.
My message to all the customers is, you don't need it. You're gonna live. Go home.
Ever since I found out how to make steamed milk at home, I haven't bothered with Starbucks.
Yes, good. Take the system into your own hands.
There's no Starbucks open here.
What has
Good.
happened? What has happened
Let them
while I
stay
was
at
gone?
home.
There's a whole Twitter rant at the moment because McDonald's are opening like select stores for drive-through or click and collect. Well, McDelivery as they're calling it because everything has to have Mc in the front of it. But it's like there's nothing north of kind of the South Midlands. and everybody in the north is kind of like, why does Peterborough need like 5 McDonald's stores open? We don't even have one. So that's how Britain's handling the lockdown.
God, there's like fucking 7 Starbucks, like counting the one in Target, within like a 5-mile circle of our store.
Oh,
Like,
there's 3 in our local shopping mall.
There's
Just
what?
in the shopping mall alone.
Why?
Fuck. Because
Because they got get my Starbucks. I'm gonna die if I don't have a strawberry acai refresher this instant.
I need it to live.
I go to
I need
Costa
to
instead. Their
live.
coffee tastes better.
I hate Starbucks. I'm sorry. I can only drink my Caribou coffee because Starbucks coffee just tastes burnt no matter what.
I'm not criticizing you. Okay, good. Don't go to Starbucks. Please, in fact, please don't at this current time.
Ugh.
All right. So
I'm gonna stop talking about Starbucks now.
that I love the Starbucks interlude while I typed things. Anybody who is dancing, dances, enjoys it. You can take a break if you'd like, as you remember Susanna's recommendation to not dance more than 2 dances in a row because you will get caught dancing for the rest of the fucking celebration. And also it's exhausting. You all can have your punch, celebrate. Gertie has run off to do some crimes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Iona can dance with any of the Idle Hands folk she likes, but Ida will offer to dance with her once she's finished speaking to
Ooh.
Gertie.
Vice is gonna go chill out again since he danced with Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, Dylan will do a couple dances with Eric and then chill out, and he's gonna have more punch.
All right. What kind of punch is Dylan having now?
Not alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic punch. Good to know.
Vice is going back to the alcohol.
That's because Vice isn't playing a game with himself.
Feyre's
Alright.
just gonna
King of
when eyes are off her, she's going to just cast Detect Magic and have it running for the next 10 minutes. Just gonna keep an eye out for anything weird.
All right. That is good to know. I love Lena. So, Diona, as you are, dancing with Ida, you notice that Gertie has somehow cornered Devin off in the corner that you had indicated earlier. And Liza Crow is, of her own volition, seemingly, going over there. But Gertie is deep in conversation with Devin Crow, and Liza is approaching. So, if at any time
Yes?
you choose to do anything with that in the next couple minutes, those 2 will be in that zone. Just in
I
case
don't think
there
so,
were
sorry.
any crime.
Ideally, I want to try and get some others, but if I can only get Liza
Yes,
and Devin,
please.
that's a good day.
It's hold on. Let
Yeah,
me-
I'll do that.
Good. Okay, sorry, I just had to check. Once Liza is there and Gertie is talking to them both, you notice. I assume you're keeping an eye on this while you're dancing.
Yes.
Ida is absolutely keeping an eye on this while she's dancing with you because she's very invested.
Ida can lead this enough too that we are close enough to keep an eye on.
Oh
And I
yeah.
think Diana gives a bit of I need to be in about 30 feet for the show, which is, I'm sure, fine.
Do you know
Ida-
the rest
Ida
of
has
the
a
party
concept
of
of 30
what's
feet.
going on?
Ida seems delighted, curious, and definitely down for whatever shenanigans are about to happen.
You can tell something's going on because you'll know Diana. But I don't know if you've clued into quite what. And yeah, depending on who else steps into where Diana has kind of envisioned the splash zone.
Vice just
Which
gonna
I'm just
keep an
waiting to
eye
hear
on
back
Diana
from.
and what she's doing because he's curious now.
All right, you can keep an eye.
Sipping his
Diana's
alcoholic
dancing.
punch.
Gertie is
Um,
she was just talking with Devin, and then Liza came on, and then it seemed like she was talking with Liza and Devin, and then it seemed like she was arguing with Liza and Devin. And noticing this argument, in fact, Marion Crow would have come over. Yep.
God.
And Danny Crow would be
Diana
there
has
as
to
well.
struggle very hard to not start cackling. Who else
Yeah.
goes over?
Danny does, because he's there to stand next to Liza. And Ida seems not concerned at all that Gertie's getting herself into an argument. She just sort of watches it.
I think that's as good as I'm gonna get. So I think on the next spin round,
Mm-hmm.
Diana does shift her hand and she's gonna create water. It's gonna primarily fall on the building, but she's definitely gonna try and get Marion, Danny, Liza, and unfortunately probably will have to get Gertie.
Oh yeah, Gertie's definitely in the middle of all this. So if you're getting anybody, you're definitely getting Gertie as well.
And it lasts a moment as 35 feet of rain pour down for about a moment, and then suddenly are gone.
All right. So
So rain in a 35-foot square
okay.
falls down very suddenly, and then stops.
And like for just like a couple seconds, like so.
It is the freshest, cleanest water any of these people have ever experienced, and it pours right on them.
So let me lay this out specifically. Gertie was standing in between Devin and Liza Crow. Danny came up standing on the other side of Liza. Marion came up standing on the other side of Devin. Gertie was in the middle of it. Gertie, as soon as the water hits her, she shrieks in what could be surprised to somebody who didn't know that she knew what was about to happen. Liza shrieks. Devin sputters and looks confused. Marion lets out a definitely undignified squeak. And Danny just sort of stands there, letting the rain fall on his glorious face. Danny doesn't have much to say about anything. But you all see this. Everybody sees this happen because there was a lot of noise. And so the music sort of tapers off for a second. And Gertie is standing there in the middle, and she's like, she spits out a mouthful of water, and she shakes out her head. She shakes her whole dress. Every bit of water that was on her starts spraying on the two closest to her. And she spits out, shakes her face, and she says, well, good as time as ever to take my leave. And she looks very frustrated and angry and storms off. And then as soon as she's away from the crows, she starts beaming. And the music starts up again, and the dancers start up again, and everybody seems a little bit confused. Liza, actually, so you cast the shower, it goes down. Vera, you were looking for magic. You see Liza, as soon as the water stops, she snaps her fingers, and you see her eyes light up with some magic, and she's looking around the whole square, trying to find some trace of where that came from. And she looks pissed as hell. She looks furious.
Oh my god.
Vera might not be here. Sarah might not be here, rather. But anyway, that's what Vera sees. And Devin just looks shocked and confused, and Marion storms off almost immediately. But Liza's still standing there, looking around, very, very angry. And
how's Ida reacting?
Ida is very, very experienced with not laughing in hilarious situations. So as she starts to lead you back into the dance after you'd stopped briefly, she just sort of looks at you and she says, your uncle is going to flip when I tell him about that if you don't do it first.
I mean, I'm sure you'll tell it better, and he wouldn't have done the same thing. He would have done it more dramatic. I just have a little gift for water.
That was dramatic enough. That was wonderful. I think Gertie will be talking about that for the next 6 years.
As long as I don't get implicated, except friendly ears.
Nobody knows.
Actually,
It's just a bit of rain. Very unlucky rain. So strange. Such a beautiful day out.
I did have a question for you, Miss Ida.
That's so, Miss Diona.
And I'm gonna PM you what Diona's asking.
Alright, cool.
You
Yes,
know what she's asking, but I'm gonna PM it to you.
Alright. I appreciate that. Anybody else who saw the glorious bit of water, anybody who knows what Diona's been up to lately would know, probably, that this sudden change of weather could be attributed to one Miss Diona.
Marius feels very happy.
Gertie has rushed back to the idle hands table, and Dylan's done dancing with Eric, right?
Yeah.
Gertie goes up to Eric, and she says, I'm all wet, look at me. And she starts splashing her water all over Eric. And Eric says, Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? She says, if I have to suffer, so do you. And Eric looks...
Dylan thinks this is great.
Eric looks tired. Gertie looks happy. Sarah, you, after the rainstorm came down on the various crows plus Gertie, which you saw that in your detect magic, of course, but after seeing that, you saw Liza Crow snap her fingers and her eyes lit up with some form of magic, and she started looking around to try and figure out where that came from. She got very frustrated very quick because it does not leave any sort of magical residue once you cast the spell. And so yes.
Okay.
After the conversation with Ida is resolved, Diona is again going to go over to the kidlets.
Uh-huh.
And
in fact,
I will get...
Cynthia has both of the kidlets now. It seems like she's stolen one back from Coover. And she is telling them that they probably should not laugh at Cousin Liza. And it was just, the bad weather. But Cousin Liza, in fact, is storming off away from the celebration with Danny in tow. Devin Crow seems a little bit more good-natured about it. He's just sort of trying to not be soaking wet, but of course he is. Marion, nowhere to be seen either. She's probably snuck off to, dry herself off somewhere. Very mortified. But Cynthia is explaining why it wasn't funny, and we should not laugh about poor Cousin Liza's getting her dress all wet.
I have to ask, does Cynthia look like she's holding back laughter?
Make an insight check for Cynthia. I can make an insight check. Alright, are you on roll 20?
Ooh, that's good.
Okay, yeah, no. Cynthia is very serious, like she's in mom mode right now. She's explaining why we shouldn't just laugh at how people have misfortunes like this, but she was entertained, and she's trying to be mom and not just laugh. It's very serious.
Since I
Cynthia's
assume
entertained.
Ida does give the word we want, but you'll work that out later.
Yes, I don't have the word yet, so Ida will give you the word.
How does Ida react to that question?
She looks over at Gertie when you say it, and then she just sort of nods, and she tells you what it is, and she says, it's interesting that you should ask that. Good, interesting. Interesting, though.
I want to do right by the people I care about. And Diona's gonna make her way at the most appropriate moment, make her way back over to Cynthia and offer to swing the kids again.
The
And
kid
possibly immediately undo because I know what she's going to do next.
the kidlets are delighted especially little Anne-Marie, who had not been swung yet because she was sitting up on the stage doing her most important job of clapping along with the music. She seems almost, if it were possible for a little kid to be twice as excited as Cassie earlier, Anne-Marie is that excited. But you think it's probably just because she's so much smaller, so the same excitement is condensed down, and so she's just really extra excited. And congratulations, now you have 2 kids to swing.
Yeah. If Diana
Okay,
thinks
Diana
she
has
can
2 arms.
safely, yeah, if she thinks she can safely swing them both at once, she's going to.
You-
Otherwise, she will very much sort of do the alternating.
You are a lot bigger than these kids, because I will remind you, Cynthia's like 4'9",
Yeah.
and these kids are like 3 and 5, and they are Cynthia's children, so they are very little kids. And you are 6'8" and just an absolute beefcake. So you can hold these little kids, one in each arm, and manage to swing them in a
Yeah.
fun
They will-
airplane game.
There will help swing
And-
too if there are any kids that are left out.
You could probably, there are definitely some kiddos who are, watching this with jealousy, some little maybe 4 to 6 year olds who seem entertained, and Vera can join in on the swinging action.
She'll swing some kids.
Excellent.
Yeah. As Diana is swinging, Diana's going to step a little bit away. Still in view of Cynthia, because she respects, but step a little bit away and just, I think there's a Nixie in the pond, and I think Liza managed to piss it off.
I knew it, I knew something. I knew it was something, because that's not rain. That's not real rain. Real rain takes, the whole sky is dark, and then the rain comes down all over the place, but that was not real rain, so that was magic.
Yeah, I think there's a Nixie or something in the pond that has taken a particular exception to Liza.
Wow.
And Diana's gonna start sort of telling stories about, some of the more benevolent water spirits.
All right, okay. They are,
like, as she settles into the next verse, she's gonna...
right. Cynthia seems content to leave you to your storytelling because she appreciates, the kids are just so desperately curious, it would be cruel of her to take them away now.
And she appreciates having a break.
Yes, she 100% does. Loves those kiddos, but Coover has not been pulling his weight because he's been playing the banjo this whole damn time. And he has not been holding on to the kiddos sufficiently. So,
Diana actually seems moderately at ease with kiddos. Like, she knows. I will mention some of the stories she's telling are... anyone who's listening, who knows, like, their folklore and stuff, they are very much, like, sanitized, and they are much... And some of it is just like, where the fuck did that come from?
some toned down fun stories.
And also, there's some that are just either very specifically regional, or Diana doesn't actually remember the original story well enough, so it's just kind of faking it.
Yeah, okay, so these kids believe that everything you're telling them is 100% true and absolutely the word of God for everywhere, all the time. Because
that's why I had to tell you that some
they
of it is
are
absolute bullshit.
3 and 5, and you're gonna raise some very disillusioned bards. So
I'm going to encourage a curiosity as to the world outside of Corwick. Is that a crime?
Depends on who you ask. I will say, Dylan, because you have a passive perception of fuck off. You notice there's a lot of crows. There's more crows than there were when you got here. There's a lot of crows on the fountain, perched on the buildings around, on the tables, by the food. There's a lot more crows than there were before. Just throwing that out there. And anybody could probably notice this, but I'm telling Dylan specifically because he has the aforementioned passive perception, and also he's probably the most on edge out of everybody. You guys also don't get out of this without a lot of small talk and introductions to people who you don't know or care about, but I hate the idea of RPing that so much that it makes me want to set my skin on fire, so I'm not going to do it. You guys just have to deal with the knowledge that your characters did have to do a lot of small talk, much like how Lena did with Anna from the temple. So just factor that into your calculations of everybody's mood.
Bias is the type that takes everything like that very easily.
Bias is doing great.
Yep.
And
this is an environment he's used to.
the other...
Diana is not used to this, but she's kind of doing her best, and that's part of why she's sticking with kiddos and Idle Hands crew.
Lena, Gertie will dance with you at some point. In fact, she will dance with you, and she's still pretty freaking drenched, but she says, I will promise I will not try to drip on you. But she's
I'd
not
say Lena
put out
by
at
that
all.
Lena by that point will probably have figured out that it was, if not Diona, then one of the members of the group. And is just going with it. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
And Gertie leads you in a delighted dance. Yeah, Dylan's not drinking any alcohol at this point. He's just drinking from the leftmost bowl of punch.
You can just declare that Dylan is drinking alcohol, Josh.
No, he's
You
doing it
can do that.
randomly. He's doing it randomly. It's gotta be the vibes.
Listen, Dylan's doing his own thing. Dylan's doing his own mental calculations and has apparently decided left punch bowl good, I guess.
There is a mischief part of me that I'm not going to indulge, but there is a mischief part of me that would be tempted to swap the punch bowls.
Do it.
Bias would cover you for that.
Actually, in fact, there is a mischief part of somebody else that will swap the punch bowls, because that's such a good idea. You all know Louisa. She's deaf. She seems to be mute. She doesn't have a lot to say and she doesn't dance, but she does have a lot to do. And indeed, at a point where conveniently nobody might be looking except perhaps Vias, she
And Dylan sees all.
and Dylan, of course, ever so casually, slides the two punch bowls. They're a little bit lower now. They're not filled to the brim like they were at the start. And just very quickly and casually swaps them with an ease that tells you, oh, she's done this before.
Good.
She's good at this.
Bias approved.
This is the kind of fuck up that she's done on the regular.
Dylan just got the worst idea.
Mm-hmm.
Is Sarah here?
Yeah.
Hi. So, Dylan goes up to Vera, and he says, as long as we are causing mischief, and mischief is being caused, what kind of alcohol disguises itself in punch, and do you have any?
Vera would know that. Sarah.
Spike.
Let's see.
Yeah, Vera would know that. PK doesn't either.
What are you just doing?
Oh, you'll see.
She'll recommend something very sweet and fruity, and she probably has something on hand or nearby, close enough that she can go get it.
Can I have some?
She can achieve this.
Can I have
She'll
some?
look around furtively and then slip it to him.
Yes!
Because she is also low-key a bastard deep down.
Okay, Dylan dumps the whole thing into one of the two unspiked punch bowls.
Excellent.
It's probably some peach liqueur or something
Make
like that.
a sleight of hand check if you're trying to do this on the down low, but
Wait.
make it with advantage because people are going to be assisting you in this.
Yeah. I mean, Bias would have made him invisible to do it if it needed
Okay.
be.
Mischief.
Okay, hold on. Alright, come on, cross your
I love how we're all just
15.
the bastard.
15 will do it because nobody's really minding the punch bowl.
Yes!
Except Louisa from Idle Hands, who watches you do this. She makes dead eye contact with you. You guys are just staring at each other, and you're pouring the whole thing into the bowl, and she's staring at you, and she nods very slowly. But there's a smile.
Dylan then
Lena
takes
is
a cup and knocks it back like a shot.
Oh god, Lena is totally dancing at this point and will not have seen any
Oh
of
no!
this.
Yep. So
Yes.
basically what happened is that the middle punch bowl was swapped for the leftmost punch bowl, and the rightmost punch bowl has now been spiked. So now the middle one is the only unspiked one.
Oh no! Truly bastard hours.
Bias
Yeah.
like shivers a little
Okay.
bit, and he says, "Oh my goodness, I think the Moonweaver really approved of that one."
Yes.
Does what I just sent you as far as...
Oh. Yes. All right. You can if you would like, but actually, once Lena is done dancing with Gertie, Gertie would grab you, Diona. So you might have to
That's
wait a little
fair.
bit for that
That's fair.
adventure. And Gertie, who is still, she's now air dried a little bit, but her hair is still wet. She still looks fucking happy as hell.
I think as they're dancing, Diona's gonna try and shape some of the water like off the hem of the skirt, so she's not like getting a muddy skirt.
Oh, very appreciated. She seems delighted at this. And she says, "So, was it everything you could have dreamed and more? Did I do a good job? Was I a good assistant?"
Oh, it was fantastic. I didn't expect to get Marion.
Oh, yes, well, I sort of thought if I start talking to Devin, then somebody's going to have something to say about it. I thought it would be Mary, and I didn't actually think... I thought I was going to have to get Liza some other way, but she just came over all on her own. The hatred in her heart lends itself so wonderfully to making her sad every day. I adore it. I adore every minute of it. It's so much fun.
She was awful to my friend, so she's been having some trouble with the local water spirit.
She's awful to everybody, and honestly, I wish we did
Well,
have a
then it's
local
deserved.
water spirit. If we had a local water spirit, I'm sure it would hate her. All we have is the creek, and though, let me tell you, there have been some fun stories about that creek.
You have stories about Susanna that I would like.
Oh, I
If you're
do. Oh, would
agreeable.
you like one right now? She can't stop me. She can't stop me. She's not even here, I could tell you.
She
All right.
absolutely cannot stop you.
I will tell you this story 2 ways, all right? I will tell you it 2 ways, because there's the one way that people hear, and then there's the way that is real, and I will tell you the first way first. So, it is said that Susanna, some years ago, before she was married, she was probably 18 around this point, many suitors, lovely woman. Everybody thought she was so beautiful, and she was, and so she had lots of gentlemen who would love to go walking with her, all right? And so, at one point, one of these gentlemen asked her to go walking with her to the creek and just sort of walk on the bank of the creek and enjoy. And so they were walking, and Susanna stopped to look at something at the other side of the creek. And at the same time, the gentleman turned to try to kiss her. But because she had stopped and was looking the other way, he was off balance, and so he started to trip. But he also stepped into the hem of her skirt and slipped and fell down into the creek and was soaked. And she felt so terrible. And it was such mortified everyone. But that is not the way the story actually goes. Because Susanna comes to me one day, my very dearest friend, and she says, "Gertie, I think somebody wants to go on a walk with the creek to me." And she asked me if I would go to the creek and be there just in case anything happened. But what she actually wanted was a witness, all right? Because what happened next was glorious. It wasn't that different from the story, you see, because they did go walking on the creek and they did stop. And he did try to kiss her, but it wasn't accidental that he missed, you see, because as soon as he leaned in, she ducked quick, like somebody was throwing a punch at her, jumped around him, and shoved him full force into his back, and knocked him down into the creek. He fell face first, and all he got for trying to kiss her was a mouthful of mud. And that isn't even the best part of the story, you see, because the reason she even said yes to going walking with him in the first place is because he had insulted Eleanor last week. And so she wanted revenge, and so shoved him into the creek, and he didn't know any better. And the best part of the story, which I have saved for the very last, is you actually know this gentleman, and you have indeed had to spend quite a bit of time with him, for that was Mr. Devin Crow.
Oh my god!
God bless.
Well, now I almost wish I hadn't done clean water. I almost wish I'd tried to do marshy.
Oh, Lord. Oh, he's had his fill of muddy water, let me tell you. Ugh. And anyway, I was just there to
Well,
watch and enjoy
It's
it.
what
She
he
just,
deserves because he's less interesting than watching tar dry. So,
yes,
at least this is a
yes.
redeeming quality.
I would very much rather watch a blank swamp for 6 hours than spend any amount of time with him. But unfortunately, we can't always get what we like. But I hope you have enjoyed this story because it is very close to my heart. And that is why Susanna Rigby has always been my inspiration and role model ever since I came to Corwick. It is... She seems delighted at having told you this story because it's...
Yeah.
She's very
Darren
proud
is
of it.
grinning along and just also delighted by this side of Susanna that she hasn't gotten to see very much of.
Shove a motherfucker into the creek. Oh, bye,
Oh,
Amy.
good night, Amy. Thanks
I'm
for
actually
staying.
Love you.
Theo,
Bye.
I'm actually
Yes,
trying
well.
to remember if Susanna has caused any mischief while we've been traveling together.
Apart from shooting people, no, not so much.
I don't think shooting
Uh.
people is mischief.
Okay.
No,
I think that's just
no, no.
murder.
Yeah.
Look, mischief, murder,
It's only murder if it dies.
Jesus Christ. You're right, then it's maiming.
Or attempted murder.
Diana does just kind of. Unfortunately, we haven't. Susanna hasn't shown her mischief side yet that we've known her.
Well, you've
However,
seen her steal my ribbon, the snake.
Oh.
I think at
But
this
it was
point,
a very fine ribbon.
It's a lovely ribbon. Yes, Ren?
I was just gonna point out there while you guys are discussing things. At this point, Bias would ask Dylan to dance too.
Okay. Does Dylan dance?
Yes.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right, let's go.
Dylan is dancing.
Excellent. You guys can roll if you're trying to dance well. If all you care about is just some dancing vibes, then you do not have to roll. You can just
Who
vibe.
is leading?
That's a good question. Who's
Yeah,
leading?
that is a good question. Bias can lead if you want, but he doesn't really
Dylan
care.
is going to let Vias lead.
All right.
Oh,
13's better than 10.
13 is better than 10.
And it's not that nat one.
God
Yes.
bless.
You guys dance surprisingly well. You guys are really picking up on the Corwick style of dancing and enjoying
You're really
yourself.
good at this.
I think you are better.
Me?
See-
No.
See, most of this is just Marcus telling Dylan, don't step there, don't step there, don't step there, don't step there. Yep, there. You got it.
Bias doesn't know these things. He just knows that you're doing very well, and he's
Dylan can't fucking see.
yeah. Anyways,
This makes
Bias
it
is very
funnier.
much enjoying himself now.
All right, excellent. Y'all are gay.
Thanks.
Sarah, at some point, Ida would ask to dance with Vera.
She'd be down.
Cool.
No. I just had a
Good.
thought, sorry.
Oh,
No, my brain informed me of some cursed information that I will not share with the group.
You
okay.
have to now.
I want
I'm-
to know.
Yeah, you have to.
Hold on, I'll just write.
Oh no, your delighted laughs make me excited.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Okay, I want to apologize in advance.
I'm nervous. No!
I mean, you're right.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
correct.
true.
Like Diona tried to flirt with her the first time they met.
And it was adorable.
That's very good.
I had forgotten about that. In fact, you know what? I think Diana will go through with asking Gertie about which course she should ask to dance. Making very clear that, oh, I've never really learned to dance, and they're gonna have trouble with me being tall.
So, Gertie seems to smile at this, and she gets thoughtful, and she says, well, I mean, the most fun ones, unfortunately, have already been driven off, the cowards, but you could always dance with Carolina. Carolina's been so left out. I'm sure she's just miserable that Ida didn't dance with her today. Ah, poor thing.
Diana looks contemplative, and I think gives Gertie a little bit of a slightly pointy smile, and
Excellent.
at the handoff, goes to go approach Carolina.
All right. Carolina, who has been very awkward as she's been left as sort of the senior crow, for want of a better word, since Marion, Idris, and Liza all stormed off. So she's representing the family right now. And she seems a little bit intimidated at the thought of dancing with you. But she has to do it because of social codes. And so
Good.
make an anti-performance check. I'm going to make an anti-performance check.
An anti-performance?
It's like, how bad is it? Like, because I need this to be clear. So far, everybody you've danced with, they've been leading because they're the most experienced one. Carolina Crow does not lead in a dance. So you're left to lead. And it's not great. It's not great. Because, again, you're super tall. You're not experienced at dancing, and she's very uncomfortable with the whole thing. So this is probably the worst anybody's looked while dancing so far, because everybody else has had like the benefit of experience, or at least an experienced partner. And so yeah.
Oh no.
You're effectively dancing poorly. You can even step on her skirt if you'd like.
Yeah, I think Diana is going to sort of step on her skirt. Like, she actually manages to look pretty okay, because that was still a 14, but
yes.
she's... Unless this is, like, the higher the worse, in which case...
When I rolled, for Carolina, I said the higher the worst for myself.
Okay, so... Yeah, so
It's
Diana
not great.
manages fairly convincingly to make a tit of both of them.
Perfect. That's the goal.
Titty.
And she's very apologetic after. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't want you to feel left out.
Oh, she is like really, she's beet red. She's mortified at this. And she says, well, I appreciate you. Yes. Okay. She escapes from you as fast as possible.
Yeah. Oh, Diana's gonna head back over to the Idle Hands crew, and she's going to... She doesn't know that the rightmost punch bowl has been spiked to hell, does she?
Nor do many other people, but indeed, Diona, you don't know. All you know is that if you want to avoid spiked punch, you just drink from not the middle one.
Oh no.
Because now...
Dylan sees Diona approaching the punch bowls, and just he takes a cup from one of the two side ones and intentionally does not look at Diona while he drinks it.
So Diana's actually gonna go for the middle one because she thinks that's the one that has alcohol in it.
Oof.
Oh, he sees Diana go for the middle one. He's like, Diana, hey, we did some mischief. That one is now no longer spiked because we did mischief. So if you want to get,
immediately changes to the. I'm just gonna roll a d2 to see which one she changes to.
Dylan is being very quiet. Also, I spiked one of the other ones.
Of course you did. So
Well,
she's gonna
Vera
go for the
helped
left
me.
one?
All right. The left one was the original spiked blend,
Yeah, with
not
the original
Dylan's.
spiked.
not Dylan's,
Not Dylan's mischief.
mischief spike. But that is the one that
Dylan's
Louisa is responsible
one that is
for.
actually probably the most full now.
So
Oh no, Dylan is drinking from it, so it looks less suspicious.
Louisa, who has been standing by the punch tables this entire time, while you take a glass from that bowl, she looks up at you and she winks.
Dana gives her a little bit of a smile, and
And
Dana has been making herself a public nuisance, and she's picked her side. So
she is vibing.
The
And we
Moonweaver is
love her
very
for
proud
it.
of this crew. For the mischief
Yes.
they have caused.
Mischief.
speaking of, is Carolina still sticking around, or is she also vacated?
Let me see, because now it's been... She is leaving, but you notice that there are...
She's leaving because it's polite to leave,
other people are leaving as well. It's clearly that the celebration is now on the downhill, whatever. It's winding down. Now it's still going for sure. There's still music being played, and there's still dancing and food, and still plenty of people coming to attend to the punch table, not knowing what is happening with the punch table. And yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, so Carolina has also left, and she's left in tow with a gentleman who you do not recognize. And Gertie is there by the punch table, and she also has not been informed about this punch thing, but she is drinking from the rightmost bowl.
Oh no.
And she's enjoying herself very thoroughly.
Excellent.
As things are winding down and the Idle Hands crew is sort of settling into their final, it seems like they are probably pretty tired of dancing and they are just keen on sticking around the punch for a while. Other people, the music is starting to die down. There had been a lady singing who is no longer singing now, it's just the instruments. And some people are packing up food. There are still a lot of crows. A lot of birds, rather, because there aren't so many crows now, but there are crows.
Dylan is, while progressively getting more intoxicated, is doing his best to flirt with Eric. His best is not very good, but he really is trying.
It's okay, because Eric is fantastic at flirting, because he's a prostitute. So he is...
Yeah.
He is easily picking up the slack. And very, very amenable to anything you might suggest.
Oh, Dylan is suggesting.
Oh boy.
Good to know. Most of the Idle Hands crew are pretty tipsy by this point. They were drinking from the center bowl before the center bowl got swapped, and now they're just drinking from wherever. And they seem quite pleased with themselves for having so effectively spiked the punch. Most of them not even realizing that one of the bowls is somebody else's work. But Eric, Dylan, invites you back to Idle Hands, should you be keen on that idea.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. You can go back to Idle Hands and have a
fantastic,
jolly good time.
Mm-hmm. That's the point.
All right, you go do that.
Oh, well, while he is leaving, Dylan takes a glance at Vias, and may I perform an insight check to see how Vias is doing?
Go roll your insight.
I don't even think you need insight to roll it, but go ahead.
It's a 20. Tell me.
He's trying not to look, but there is like a waver to his lip.
Aw.
He's
Too
sad.
bad.
Oof.
He's trying very hard not to look at you when you leave.
Dylan's rather drunk, so...
Yeah, he's gonna wake up feeling real bad in a lot of times.
Dylan, former alcoholic O'Brien.
Oof. We have started something.
Oh, no, I started this. This started after the temple, alright?
Right.
Oh boy.
So,
Remember when Dylan started swearing? Yeah.
Dylan's having maladaptive coping mechanism hours.
Yes, he is.
I mean, isn't Dylan a walking maladaptive coping mechanism?
This is also
yes.
true. Many of the Idle Hands crew, similarly to Eric, are sort of like low-key flirting with you guys, just to see, just to check,
I mean,
just to, the options there.
at this point, Vias is like sad enough to where he's like, I just want to talk to somebody who likes me.
Aw. Yeah. So you can flirt with any number of the people, but Thomas, who danced with you, is definitely down to chat and give you many compliments about your clothes and your appearance and your voice and pretty much anything else
Oh.
that he gets he gets a chance to compliment.
I need
So
to roll
that's
to see if Vias is interested into going or not. Hold on.
all right. Roll for brothels.
I'm just gonna roll a d20. Yeah, he's gonna go.
All right. Excellent. So
Yeah, I think Diana's going to. If someone is flirting, I think she's going to follow up as well.
Gertie is 1000% flirting.
Oh.
Of course it was Gertie.
Yes,
Gertie
please,
is-
that's good.
Gertie, you seem to understand, based on Gertie's interactions with you compared to everybody else's interactions with you, that Gertie has had a talk with everybody else to make it clear that Gertie,
Holy shit!
if anybody
no.
gets this, Gertie gets it. So
Specifically targeted.
Gertie gets to tap that.
Gertie does get to tap
She
that.
got dibs.
So, yes, Gertie called dibs on Diona. I had this decided in advance.
Also, how tall is Thomas?
How tall is Thomas? He's probably about 5'10".
Okay. That's even worse, because that's the same size as Dylan.
Oh no! Wait, well, no, he's a little
No, Dylan's
taller.
5'8".
Dylan's 5'8".
well, if
He's a
I-
little
Yeah,
taller.
he's
drunk.
slightly taller than.
Yeah.
If Ice is drunk, does it matter?
No. At least he doesn't look like Charlie.
No, no.
Yeah.
That would
So-
be his hell.
So, Dylan has gone off with Eric. Vias has gone off with Thomas. Diona is going off with Gertie, question mark?
Yeah.
Yes.
Diona is going off with Gertie.
Excellent. He snagged 3 of us.
Yep. Ida is just sort of cleaning up the punch station as more and more people are leaving and seems to be...
Diana, before she heads off, she is going to tap Ida on the shoulder and go, there is something I need to discuss with you a bit later.
Alright, good to know. I'll be in touch.
Yep.
And you can head off to get laid.
Excellent.
Roll for getting laid.
Do not roll for getting laid.
But I want to roll.
Absolutely do not roll for getting laid. Okay. I'm going
Sorry.
to assume that Lena would reject the advances. I'm also assuming that nobody's catching Vera's eye.
Why
Unless-
not?
No.
Unless... Just, I mean, based on her reaction to Diona flirting, like, these people are all so much younger than her.
You are a little baby.
They are all baby. Unless Ida's probably the only one who's in the right stage of life, but Ida does not flirt with you.
Yeah, and
Wow.
even so, it's not been that long since her wife died. Like,
Yeah. So, Ida cleaning up with whoever's left over of the Idle Hands crew, which is not that many, with Louisa and Zoe and Vivian. And other people who seem to have sort of been manning other stations. You know, things are getting cleaned up and tidied up quite efficiently. These people know how to throw a party and they know how to clean up after one. Anybody who remained in the square would notice that the crows sort of took off after the bulk of people started leaving, including, the 3 party members who are heading off to Idle Hands. So there are not so many crows in the square at the moment, and any that you notice do not appear to be juicy. So
the juicy ones go.
that's a good question. But that is pretty much it. So anybody who is not getting laid can go rejoin Susanna and Talia at Susanna's house. Susanna and Talia have been playing Crazy Eights for 4 hours. If there is anything specific that they talked about, we can talk about it. But I don't know. Susanna is very into Crazy Eights as a card game.
So the 8 ones you can change. Like, it's 4
Yes.
hours later, Talia's still just like, okay, 8 ones you can change for different times.
Yes.
Treasure,
Yeah.
you are very distant.
Yeah.
Parker's got a case of the me.
Parker has Josh syndrome.
Yes.
But Susanna is, every time you explain, she's like, yes, so 8 can be swapped out for a different suit. Doesn't any different suit that you choose, no matter what suit the 8 is.
Better.
No.
Now, yes, hi.
Yes, that's much better.
Much better.
Wrong mic was. And I had to figure out which one. Talia is still just like, I don't understand cards.
It's okay. It takes time. I grew up with this. It takes time. We'll teach you. And this is, I don't know, maybe I should have started with something simpler like war, but it's because then you don't have to worry about the suits. You only worry about the numbers. But you're doing great. You are doing
Thank
better
you.
than I was when I first learned how to play Crazy Eights.
Thank you. They have spent a long time trying to figure out how to hold a hand of cards.
Yeah. It takes skill. Susanna's pretty clumsy with how she handles the cards, but you get the sense that is more due to the injury on her hand than any lack of experience. And not that Talia would necessarily know what good cardsmanship is anyway.
Other than
Nope.
not eating them.
Yeah, Talia is aware you do not consume them.
Of course, these are not corpses.
Whoa!
Well,
I'm sorry. So, Lena and Vera and Zoella can rock on back to Susanna's house whenever to find these two with Mercy watching, just super into their games of Crazy Eights. And yeah.
Okay, but I have to ask, did Mercy give them a running commentary of what was going on at the party?
Pretty much.
Good.
Including the
Rice's
crows
voice.
part.
Including the what?
The weird crows.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
mentioned. I
All
don't
right.
think he
Was
mentioned
the-
the part that they left at the end, though, because Vias is probably just like, yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it.
Bias is a little distracted, so
Okay, but Dylan does not get this jealous when Vias goes with someone else. All right, so he
Yeah.
sees it and he does not get it.
Well, I mean, Vias is he's not necessarily jealous. It's just the fact that he's like, meh.
he's just sad.
Yeah.
He's just a sad boy.
He's just sad.
Wish
That's
that
all.
were
He's not
me.
jealous.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Yes. It's not like he's gonna tell you not to go sleep with somebody. That's
So
stupid.
then, Dylan, while you're in the middle of the event, a crow shows up and kills you immediately.
Oh,
Cool,
no.
great, thanks.
JK.
It's like one of those horror
JK.
shows.
JK.
You know that he takes off his shirt and there's crows under there.
Yep.
It just
Yep.
eats you alive.
he was just crows in a people suit.
Fantastic. Thanks. Thanks for that, PK.
So yeah, when anybody not getting laid shows back up, Susanna says, "Oh, you're back. Did you have a nice time?" My fucking dog is barking. Hold on.
Remy.
And there's, of course, the conspicuous lack of 3 of the party members. Because 3 people are getting laid.
Cha-ching.
It was surprisingly pleasant.
Oh, high praise. Look at that. Where's everyone else?
They're having some fun.
Mercy clicks her beak and goes,
What, like crime fun or like other fun?
Susanna.
What?
Talia
Okay.
gives her a look of just like, please.
Well, I don't know if they're like they literally could be doing crime. Is all I'm saying. Like, I just want to clarify that they are not.
They're not doing crime.
All right,
If they
then I
were
hope
Not
they
yet,
have.
at
they
least.
If they were doing crime, they would have just said they were doing crime and not been, euphemistic about it.
Well, I hope they have a nice time. I'm sure they will. I know they will.
Dylan's having a great time.
I'm sure he is. Everybody is having a swell time.
yep.
So nothing too terrible happened then.
Can't wait for Diana and Grady to be endgame.
Yes!
Aww. Ship it.
I love Gertie.
I love Gertie too.
She's so good. I hope
Gertie is-
Susanna steals her ribbon more often because I loved that indignation so much.
That interaction was so good. Like, that interaction was amazing.
I'm glad because I literally practiced it so much. Because I practice things.
You're so valid.
So, eventually, I don't know how long, but eventually, the folks at Idle Hands can finish up at Idle Hands.
Eventually.
Eventually. And when they do, they can head out. Though, I would like to figure out what's the best way we can roll to find out if Vias and Dylan leave at the same time.
D20 and see who
High
if
or
we
low?
match.
Okay.
High or low?
Are we doing high or low? Okay. And then is high they meet at the same time and low they don't?
I think so.
Yeah.
Or
Easiest way
maybe
to
the
do it.
difference between the numbers or something?
Nope, it's
Oh god.
they meet
Yes.
exactly the same time. Like they literally smack into each other in the
Oh
hallway.
no.
That's how soon. Like 2 bells ring at the same time and you guys smack into each other.
Just looks at each other. Vias just stops
Hey.
dead in his tracks and just
Fucking mess.
Dylan is rather drunk.
Mhm.
Dylan takes Bias's arm
oh.
and he looks at him. He's like, "Hey, hi,
Hi.
fancy meeting you here."
God.
Yes.
Oh, you know. Okay, no, I'm not going to even suggest waiting for Diana. That would just make it weird. Come on, let's go back. And
Vias
Dylan
just gives a grin
Dylan-
and nods.
Dylan walks Bias back
Yes.
through the town.
Vias is visibly beaming.
And he is stumbling, and Marcus is not there. So Dylan is not doing a very good job of leading at all.
Oh, that's
Where's
okay.
Marcus?
Vias will kind of adjust if he'll let him. He'll adjust to put his arm under his shoulder, like that.
Oh
whole,
yeah, he'll let him.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he'll just stable themselves. Because Vias is also drank, but having 2 drunk people support each other
Drank.
usually works.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
2
collaborating.
questions. Or 2 things. 1, where's Marcus right now?
Vibin.
Okay, but where is he though?
where do you want him to be?
I don't know. Where did Dylan leave him?
Oh, well, I'm gonna say that Marcus took off of his own accord right before Idle Hands shenanigans
Okay.
because he doesn't want
so
to see that.
Here's the thing. Okay, fuck. There's a ton of crows outside Idle Hands. There's so many.
Marcus is fast.
Okay. Just I don't know. Roll to escape.
What do you want me to roll to?
I don't know. Roll a dexterity check for your fucking raven.
Sure.
There's a lot of
Marcus, you're so
pros.
dumb. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Oops.
Okay, so I didn't want to have to do this.
Oh Jesus.
Beak.
All right, I'm gonna roll to see if they are deterred by you fighting back or not.
Marcus is such a trash pile.
They are. Lucky for you, lucky for Marcus, who was about to get his ass killed by crows again. You seem to have made some kind of an impression with your violence this time.
I mean, you know what? Well, probably because they know that Marcus ripped one of them to pieces.
Yeah, probably. So you all.
And then Marcus, and this is the first time Marcus has ever done any kind of imitation, says, "Fuck off."
So yeah, Marcus can make it back to Susanna's house way before everybody else.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, Marcus is alive. And you guys are drunk, but making your way back to Susanna's house, arm in arm, because that's not weird.
The one thing Vias does while they're walking, he's like humming he's humming happy songs.
Aw.
And they are sharing a room, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
God. Yep.
Mhm.
So, Joe, it's up to you when Diona gets finished with her project.
Project.
That's certainly a way to put it.
Yeah,
God, that's amazing.
I'm creative. So,
She built a house.
yeah, she put up some cupboards, chopped some firewood. Yep, that was her project. So you can you could have been finished before the boys if you want, or after. You didn't get out at the same time as them because that would be too funny.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think she would have left later.
Okay, cool.
Dylan
Gertie
is
makes
flirting
some-
with Bias, yes.
Excellent.
Gertie makes some comment about hating to see you go but loving to watch you leave because that's the kind of woman she is.
Of course she does.
Haha, but
Yes, exactly. And you can head back to Susanna's house. Are you drunk right now? You're a little drunk, right?
Only a little, because she didn't drink particularly much.
Right. You were
And also she has kind of a fuck off high corn.
right. So you're tipsy at best, but not very much. And
Yeah.
so you are. Oh my god. The gays are such a mess. They just both got laid by other people, met each other in the brothel hallway, and then flirted with each other on the way home.
and then they snuggle once they get back.
Yeah.
Goddamn mess.
I imagine
Mess, I
Vias just
love
like
them.
Mess
tips
and a
Dylan
half.
into the bed and just flops down and like falls asleep.
I hate you both. Oh my god, I love it. It's so wonderful.
Dylan, while not one for physical contact, accepts it.
Excellent.
That is. Oh my god, you guys.
Progress, bitch. It only
So
took
Vias
50
is forcing the
episodes.
progress onto him.
It took
God.
like 50-something episodes and drunkenness.
Yo. Getting both drunk and laid. That's
But
what
not
it took.
with each other.
Not with each other.
Not yet.
with other people.
Night's still young.
Yep.
Night is still young. There are
See-
like 6
See,
other
Dylan
people
is
in the
afraid
fucking
of
house.
being known.
The mortifying ordeal of being known. Little
Dylan
sister
is
people.
afraid of the mortifying ordeal of being known and also of sleeping with someone he intimately knows.
Oh.
So, yeah, you guys rock back to Susanna's house where everybody, other people, like the remainder could have joined into the Crazy Eights game that Susanna and Talia had going.
Oh god, are they still awake?
Probably.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Probably
was later.
You thought
Maybe
we were
seven.
getting out at like 10?
Listen,
No.
I have no concept of time ever,
Dude.
anywhere.
No, it's probably like 7 p.m. We'll say it's 7, but they're still very much awake.
Oh, then okay, then oh no, Dylan does not try and disguise anything.
Yeah.
Vias can, but Dylan isn't.
Vias really isn't trying to. He's just like when they walk in and like if they look at them, he just says, "Hello, goodbye," and starts walking Dylan to the room.
I'm gonna go to sleep. I've never been
Only
this. I haven't
sleep,
been this
just
drunk
sleep.
in
We
like
drank. Yup.
in like 4 months.
Okay. Okay. It's a small
Good for
house.
them.
Good
Have
night.
fun.
I am not loud.
Okay.
Vias like puts a finger to his lip and he says, "They want shh. They're playing cards."
Oh shh.
Okay.
He looks at you, Susanna, and puts a finger to his lip and says, "Shh."
Oh my god. Alright. Go away. Go. Keep going. Keep walking. Go.
I am walking.
Okay.
Vias
And you guys
just
can
staggers
walk
them
to your
forward
room.
and just like starts giggling for no reason.
Yep. Alright, so the boys get shut into their room. Susanna looks very amused.
Mercy is just like
Talia
bobbing her head a couple times.
Talia just looks tired.
Kayla
Fair.
looks like she finds the whole ordeal endearing.
Do you think no. You
Nah.
said
Maybe.
Like,
If they had, they would not be that public about it.
you're right. Okay.
Dylan would get all weird and flustered and it'd be a whole thing, and then we'd have a whole bunch of drama about how they don't want to talk afterwards, and then I'm gonna have to give them a talk about how Delphia do with sex. And I'm going to be very upset about it.
I'm glad that you have yourself planned. You have it all planned out, though, Talia, because they will need it at some point.
Yeah, probably in another 5 years at this rate.
Right? Lord.
Can I
Oh,
drink
you-
a couple more times?
She's underestimating Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan and his ability to go very fast, very quickly. I mean, him and Griffin got married within like a year of knowing each other.
Ugh.
Yikes.
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 I keep forgetting what my Dylan timeline is because I had it in my head and then I went back and looked at what I wrote and I was like, so my brain's been telling me they've been married for 5 years, but I sent Becky 3-ish. So I'm just going to redo the whole thing because they've been married for 5 years.
Yep.
My brain says it and therefore it's true.
Mood.
That's also Susanna's timeline. So
Whoa!
does no, not Joe. Does Diona? Fuck. Does Diona?
Does Diana fuck?
Yes. She does.
I hate so much.
Yes, she does.
We have just established that she does. Does Diona leave immediately after, or does she go to talk with Ida, like she said she'd implied she might, or does she save that for a later date when she's a little more put together?
Oh, I think she saves that for later, unless Ida pulls her aside. Because I think right now she is too
Yeah.
happy and comfortable to deal with the, by the way, everything is fucked up.
Yeah. Ida does not make any effort to pull you aside. That's considered to be in bad form when you're the madam of a brothel, is to, interrupt your patrons right after they finish their business.
Oh no.
So she doesn't. You actually wouldn't even see her because she'd have been in her office, and you can get out without ever seeing her. But you can escape and then head back to Susanna's house. There are a lot of crows outside Idle Hands. There are a lot of them.
Of course there are. I feel like Diana just kind of grumbles some obscenities as she sees them.
Fair enough.
Her mood sours a bit, but it's not enough to.
Right. They don't make any effort to assault you or anything of the nature like they did with Marcus. God. But you can also make it back to Susanna's house. Vias and Dylan are locked away. The rest
Dylan is out
Probably.
almost
Vias
as soon
had
as they
set
lie
him
down.
down, and Vias basically just fell asleep in what he was wearing. Barely
All right.
kicked off Susanna's shoes.
All right, so you guys are just completely out. Susanna's probably still on this playing cards kick because she's just so delighted that somebody is playing cards with her, even if Talia doesn't really get it, So you can rock back up, looking perhaps somewhat disheveled, but still lovely.
Yeah.
And Susanna will raise an eyebrow when she sees you and says, "Well, young lady, what have you been doing out so late?"
I mean, I'm sure you already know by now.
Talia
Our friends are fucking gossips.
Talia is just like 1,000 yards there.
What? No, nobody's even implied a single thing about what you might have been up to. I love
I'm just
Marcus.
going to decide something.
Oh no.
Very quickly.
Oh, I'm nervous.
And that is how much Diana gives a fuck about tact right now.
Oof.
Oh no.
Oof.
So somebody call high or low, please.
Hi.
Low.
Hi.
Fuck.
Roll high, beach.
Hi.
I wish it was low. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I want all of it.
I think Diana just kind of... Gertie's very pleasant company. And leaves it at that.
Does she, go to her room or does she sit down and join the people?
I think she goes to her room for a little bit.
All right. Let me do something real quick.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Let me Susanna's sheet load.
Good. I love Mercy.
13. All right. Oh my God, Mercy and Marcus are having less content.
She wants to be endearing.
Oh.
Damn.
See, Marcus is just being dumb. Oh.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'll do
No, you
this
go.
in a little
Go.
bit. No, this is related to the cards.
Okay. Yeah. So Susanna, when Diana says that, she just sort of nods, and then she said, "Yes, that she is." Very quiet under her breath.
Ooh.
Oh.
And then goes back to the card game.
Ooh.
Talia is just like looking at the table, just like, why?
Talia is not there. Yeah, well,
Talia just wishes that people weren't like this.
my first
Feyre
question.
definitely gives her an eyebrow, but says nothing about that.
Okay.
Can it be card heist time with
Yes,
Marcus?
it can be card heist time with Marcus.
Can I roll a sleight of hand check to see if you can hide them well enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which
Because
you
I'm
would have done
assuming
when you
Marcus.
first-
Marcus is smart. He can get to wherever,
Oh,
the general area
Bias.
of where the cards are.
That was a
Because-
4.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Ew!
Wait, no. What is the actual check to find it?
Investigation.
Oh no.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. So no. Marcus.
Fuck.
Marcus did not find
They're
it.
like in
Marcus-
a nightstand and he just can't find it.
He
Marcus.
just can't open drawers. That's the problem.
Yeah. If Marcus's search is a failure, he goes back to sitting like that next to Mercy.
Bless. Actually, you know what? The Mockingbird will sit like that on the other side.
Yes, we got the bird squad.
Yes.
Bird squad, one of whom is literally just Susanna. Like, fuck it, may as well imitate a bird.
Mercy just like fluffs up her feathers and just goes waka waka.
All right. The Mockingbird says nothing.
Marcus goes, fuck off.
Waka waka.
Where
Fuck off.
where did the bird learn how to curse?
Marcus looks at Susanna dead in the eyes and goes, "Fuck off."
Yeah, okay, that sounds like you.
Oh, wait, is Zoella here?
Zoella should be here, yes.
It's, Marcus looks at Zoella and then hops over to Zoella and just goes, "Fuck off." Fully wanting and expecting Zoella to imitate.
Jamie!
Jamie?
Jamie.
She might be out somewhere else.
I'm sure Zoella does.
She's very... I'm just imagining Marcus and Zoella just going back and forth with "fuck off."
Yep, that is exactly what happens.
Perfect.
Alright. So, as the evening is drawing to more of a close, is there anything anybody would like to do?
I think Diana is going to make an emergence and join the card game after sort of putting the hair back down and just kind of getting more comfortable clothes.
Can Marcus, Mercy,
she is
and...
going to join the card game.
Cool.
Can Marcus, Mercy, and the Mockingbird form a team and also play in the card game?
Please.
Fuck it, they can try, yeah.
Yes!
Yes!
Because
Yes!
the Mockingbird has human intelligence. And definitely
Talia
knows how to play Crazy Eights.
Talia is just like big side eye at Marcus.
Marcus...
Trying to make sure this one they don't eat these fucking cards.
Oh, Marcus is... These are not the cards Marcus is after. Marcus understands that these are special cards and is very gentle with the cards.
Heck,
In
Hawks
fact-
have really shit intelligence.
So, you all, yeah. Roll a d20. Anybody who's a team, roll a d20. Josh, roll for the bird team. Roll a d20, and whoever rolls the highest wins this round of bizarre Crazy Eights. Oh my god! There's no way. There's no fucking way. Somebody else rolling. Oh my god.
None of you
I
can
hate-
beat the birds.
No.
Well, they had a really good hand, you know?
Yes!
3 fucking birds beat you all at Crazy Eights.
And I imagine the Mockingbird is not helping out all that much. So this is mostly Marcus and Mercy just going like, "This looks like a color. There we go."
Every time you guys are about to fuck up severely, the Mockingbird will correct you by pecking at one of the cards. But unless you guys are like really fucking up, the Mockingbird does not help.
Perfect.
And you guys still
We get lucky by accident.
win the game of Crazy Eight. And when this happens, yeah.
Hello.
All right. Jay, you
Joe?
gonna say something?
Hello?
There you are.
There you
Hello.
are. Welcome back.
Fucking push to talk.
Oof.
Yeah, because I keep echoing. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
So,
Okay. I think when they win, Diana's gonna take 3 of the little trinkets out of one of her braids and put one in front of each bird. With a bit of
Marcus.
a look at Marcus, and, "Don't eat that."
Marcus is delighted. Marcus is so delighted he starts doing a little happy bird dance. You know when like you get really excited and you're standing and you do a little dance? That's literally what Marcus is doing. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but
The one that
Mercy's
gets
tail
put into-
wags.
The one that gets put in front of Marcus is a little. It looks like a bead that has, like, it is a turquoise bead with a vein of what seems to be almost like silver glitter running through it.
nice.
oh, Marcus is so excited.
Yeah, I knew he'd like the glitter. The one that Mercy is given is a tiny, dark brown bead with a, the area that you thread it through is actually a small loop of gold. And the one for the mockingbird is, it actually looks like it used to be from a pendant.
Okay.
It's a little silver charm that looks like it either came from a pendant or a charm bracelet at one point.
So theoretically, for Mercy's charm, can she take it with her beak and bend it around her ankle?
No, it's okay. So you've got the bead itself. It's a dark glass bead.
Okay.
And then the center, like the hole in the bead,
okay.
has been gold leafed. So
Gotcha.
there's still the hole in the bead that you would run a string through, but it's.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't describe it very well.
It's alright. Vias has thread, so we can do a thing with that. If she wants
The mockingbird sort of taps the ground taps the table next to the charm, and then hops towards Susanna, and then taps the table again, and Susanna will take that little trinket and hang on to it.
I think it's a little horseshoe charm.
Adorable. Oh, good luck. I need some of that. And she will pocket it.
Mercy will mimic the voice that Marcus had used before in the fuck off.
Oh my god, why are all these birds so rude? Thank goodness you can't talk. Heaven knows what you'd say. And she says that at the mockingbird.
Mercy seems pleased with herself.
Fuck off.
Oh my god.
Fuck off.
So, yeah, you guys have played. I think after the birds beat you guys, everybody sort of realizes that it's time to stop playing.
Time to put the cards down and go to bed.
Yeah, because clearly something's up. So you guys can head to sleep unless there's anything else specifically that you'd like to do for the evening, because I imagine it's sort of a slow trickle off into sleep. People are still chatting, talking about the party. Does anybody tell Susanna and Talia about the fun of the rainstorm on the crows?
You would have gotten
Yes.
the play-by-play from
Diana
Vias,
does.
too.
Mercy told us at the time, and then Diana can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And with possibly a bit, Susanna, of don't let Gertie know I already told you, because she's going to be hilarious about telling the story.
Oh, she's gonna tell me? Alright. I'll allow
At
it.
least I think she's going to tell you.
Yeah, that sounds like her. I'm sure she will.
You should have seen Liza's face. Like, it was almost better than when the tea got her.
She's not too happy about having her dress ruined. Never has been. Wow.
Yeah, well, maybe she shouldn't have been awful.
You know, I don't think that has ever once occurred to her in her entire life. Bless her poor stupid little heart. But it sounds like you all didn't have an awful time at a Corwick celebration.
It was fun. It was...
Surprisingly agreeable.
I do, however, think Diana does not mention humiliating Carolina.
That's fair. Somebody else will. That's Gertie's job. Susanna seems delighted, by the way, to find out that everybody danced. Just absolutely thrilled. At some point, she says, who played the instruments?
Kuva, the
Right.
woman from the temple, and I didn't know the other one.
It was Anna for the temple.
Yeah, Anna from the temple
Yeah, Anna from the temple,
had played the fiddle.
which is what I thought I said.
Yeah, you said the woman from the temple, but yes.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't know
Anyway.
if Diana even got her name, so...
right, probably not, because you actually didn't meet her because you were busy doing other. Anyway, so Susanna just sort of nods and she says, My husband used to play the fiddle for things like that, so I was just wondering who they got to got to play it when he was gone. And Eleanor used to
Anna
sing.
seemed pretty reluctant.
Yeah, I've heard her play before. She's good, but it used to be. That's just what the Crow Boys did. Is it would be Coover and Devin and Ivis, and Marion would sing sometimes for them, but it's weird. It's weird to think about. I'm kind of glad that I couldn't have gone anyway, because I think it would have just made me sad.
Also, Diana does at that point. Also, Susanna, since you had to miss out, may I have a dance?
What, right now?
You had to miss out,
Okay.
and I want to make sure you know you're included.
All right, fair enough. Let's see how well you dance. Is anybody any good at music or singing?
I think Vera might have an instrument or something.
Vera can play her instrument. I don't even care what it is. And you all can, Diona and Susanna can dance in the living room. Vias and Dylan, if you guys were not so drunk, this would wake you up, but you guys are dead asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we zonked out.
Let me roll performance for
Mercy is
Susanna.
watching, however, I think.
Cool.
She's sitting by the mockingbird.
Susanna, by the way, is an excellent dancer.
Good.
Yeah, she is.
Does that mean I can take advantage on my performance as well?
Yes.
Because I assume Susanna's leading.
Susanna is absolutely leading. She would not let you lead her right now. She is the way better dancer. Very good.
Diana is at one point going to do a very small lift for Susanna. Very that sort of lift and quarter spin, and very carefully.
Oh
put her
yay,
feet
she
back on
gets
the ground.
twirls too. She gets twirls too. Yes, Susanna is happy and she laughs and she seems to very much enjoy that you thought of her and wanted to dance, and she's pleased. And then probably pretty shortly after that, she will excuse herself to head off to bed.
I think Talia was still watching, like sat up on the table, just vibing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Did they sit on the table the whole time they were playing cards? Okay.
No.
Okay. Alright.
Diana does one more thing when Susanna excuses herself to go to bed, and that is just very mildly says good night and whatever the endearment she was given.
Oh, the Ida word? Okay.
Yes.
Susanna sort of stops in her tracks, and then she says something in return which you do not know how to say or what it means, and then she keeps going and goes to bed. But anybody who watched her could see that she was smiling. So.
Aww.
Talia gives, like, in that moment, Talia looks at Diona, like, eyebrows raised. Just, are you fucking joking with me?
I was not flirting with her. I hope I wasn't flirting with her.
You might have been flirting with her a bit.
Like, Talia, like, puts, like, has their hands, like, in, like, a prayer motion, and to their lips, and then points them at you.
Diana turns and just, okay. If you must know, the word I asked Ida for was an endearment for sister. I am hopefully sure that she gave me the correct word and not a flirtatious endearment.
See, I wouldn't put it past Ida to give a flirtatious one.
Talia
is hoping for the best.
Talia is just like, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I don't want to know. I'm just going to go to bed. Good night.
Fucking bless.
They're so tired of our bullshit.
God.
I think Diana's a little bit confused.
God, that's funny shit.
God.
So, yeah. Congratulations. You survived the Corwick celebration.
Hold on, I'm gonna say it. From the beginning of the game, I've shipped Talia and Diona, alright?
Yeah.
Like, this didn't even... This has been a pre-Parker and Joe thing in my brain. It's been like, looking at them and being like, yeah, that's cute.
That's wholesome, I like. Also, Diana with anybody is good.
There's a
Except
lot
for
of...
Dylan, because he's gay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
same.
And
wait,
Dylan
I
is
think-
too gay to go for Vias.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a little too much.
Yep. So,
Is-
that,
yeah, he has interests in other places.
there's...
Dylan.
Yeah.
That was a...
And Charlie.
Yep.
That had a lot going on there. Not only did one person get... I expected, like, at least one person to get laid, but 3 people got laid.
You got the trio.
Good for them.
Good for them. I'm so...
I
God,
mean-
I wish that were me.
I wouldn't have expected it, but I mean, the ending part of that was definitely the best. So
Oh my god. That was a blessing for them to
Fucking
come out at the
finally.
same time.
it's like
God.
a
And let me tell ya.
rom-com.
This is basically just the rom-com for the people of idle hands to watch, is those two.
Oh my god,
That's
They
what
were
it is.
enjoying themselves.
Yep.
Please let them make bets.
God.
Are there bets, PK?
Are there bets? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask somebody about that. Somebody who would know more than I would.
Which means
There
you're
are
writing
bets.
it down in your
I
notes now.
guarantee you that
There are bets, and after we leave, there's going to be a weekly
Louisa
letter to
probably did.
Susanna.
I will tell you, due to bets that you guys did not participate in, Gertie made 6 gold over the course of the evening.
Oh man, I should have participated in more bets.
There were some private bets between the Idle Hands folk that you guys did not get in on. But Gertie lost a gold on the first bet that you guys were around for, and then made 6. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Wow.
Was one of those bets
probably
how long
one
it
of
would-
those was because of Diana's shenanigans.
Yeah,
Was-
there were some. Yeah.
Was one how long it would take Vias and Dylan to dance?
I can't tell you what the bets were.
Oh my god!
That is information that you guys don't have.
However,
That would be metagaming.
Okay, but Josh won it.
Too bad.
speaking of interest, Vias's interests in other places.
What?
Oh, yes.
What now?
What?
There's gonna be some mail.
From Charlie?
Oh, my boy!
There's
Hmm.
gonna be some mail.
I still don't know how Joshua feel about Charlie. I don't think Dylan gives a shit.
I love him. If there was no Dylan, it would be Charlie all the way. Just saying.
Oof.
Yeah, but see, Dylan's here, and Charlie's gonna have to kill Dylan.
Or side
don't
note,
wanna say
Vias
that,
has
Thor?
2 hands.
Vias does have 2 hands.
God.
He is not in a mood in any state to choose between the two of you two, so I don't know what to do with that.
He's just busy getting laid with other people. The man needs some time.
He just doesn't know what to do. He's too gay and likes 2 men. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He's
Dylan's
gay.
just maladaptive coping mechanisms as a person.
Oop, he's
buddy.
gay.
I'm so excited.
And he's gay.
Oh, Charlie.
You know.
Whale.
All right, guys. I needed to pee for like 3 hours, so I'm
Okay.
gonna.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
I gotta.
Thank you so much,
I
PK.
so
That was
desperately
awesome.
like. I hope you guys had a good time, as good of a time as
Yeah.
the characters
Yes.
did.
Marcus
now-
still doesn't know where the cards are.
Now that session is over, I'm gonna drop